Well, I'm just gonna say this. Like,
Are you recording?
if we lived in olden times, like, my girlfriend would be worthless.
This is the greatest show.
Are you ready for this? Are you ready for this?
But okay, all right. I'm gonna clarify that. Obviously, like, she's just so incredibly blind. Like, I put on her glasses for the first time ever yesterday, and like I just couldn't.
Yeah.
Like, I couldn't see.
Same
I
thing with
couldn't do anything.
My brother's just like it's legally blind.
What would happen to people? What
You'd be
do
done.
they do with people?
you-
They were just like, you're. Like,
I think you would just die. I think if you were born with bad eyesight, you tried to scramble your way through life until like a fucking bear ate you one day because you didn't see it coming or something.
like I don't think they let you leave a room. They just put you in a room and they're like, you just stay
Sit
here until you die.
It's like
it was,
they just leave you on the side of a mountain until you're dead.
and because I have, I wouldn't say great vision. I actually don't. I'm probably 20/20. I was like,
the only thing I got going for me is my vision.
right? I can't see things that are very far away, but I think that's pretty normal.
It doesn't sound like you have great vision then, John.
If something's very far away, I
Define
can't.
very far.
Okay.
We
Like,
should do a vision test.
like I can read Pete Alonso's jersey. Like, what's far? I don't know.
That doesn't impress me.
I can read everything in this room. Like I'm talking like yards.
Can you pull up like on that TV? Could we maybe do a vision
Oh, wow, we're really-
test?
Yeah.
We'll see if we can do like the bottom row.
But anyway,
of,
like I'd never even like worn glasses.
Yeah,
and
me neither.
I put hers on, and I was like,
I've never
like, this is
had
how
to
you see.
And you know what those motherfuckers go through? People who have bad eyesight, I'd kill myself.
Why?
The shit they go
Well,
through, man.
I mean, yeah.
Like the test they go. I feel like they also have to get that puff of air into their eyeballs for tests for like glaucoma or something, and they've got to do all sorts of tests. So they got to put the saline in. You got to put your fingers in your eyeballs. It's a whole fucking
the
production.
contacts is anyone who wears contacts is crazy.
Have you ever? I very rarely will put eye drops in.
Never.
If I put eye drops in,
I'm sure I've done it once
You
or
should
twice,
see me put eye drops in, because these people are supposed. You hold it open and you like drop it in, right? If I do it, I'm just like. I just give myself a facial with saline until some of it hopefully gets in my eyeball. It's all like streaming down my cheeks and like none of it's actually even in my eyeballs. But yeah, I mean, if every day I had to sit there and pick up a a
I just wear glasses.
I
would not wear. I would not do.
I
contacts.
think at least maybe. I think sometimes you get headaches from your head, from your eyeglasses or something. But I would, first of all, eyeglasses, casts, braces, they're cool. When you don't have them and then you want them. So I would just rock eyeglasses all the time.
Cast is also a thing I thought about. Like, if you broke your leg back in the
You're
day,
dead.
You're
fucking dead.
They just let you
Or
die?
I think, your bone heals like totally crooked and then you just like hobble around the rest of your life. Right?
And you make up things like, well, this is how it gets when it's cold out. My leg.
Yeah,
I get a limp when it's cold.
Right.
What are you talking about?
This is for masturbation. Teach the kids never to do anything. Yeah, that's. I mean, back in the day, and all like very, very relatively recently. I think about these things, man. These things blow my mind. I get a little high at night, and I think of like the famous like the guys like Da Vinci. I think would like steal bodies from the morgues and like take them apart and like learn their anatomy and shit.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Oh, I didn't know this.
And like that's how like doctors would like figure shit out. They're like looking through the layers of the fucking, here's the skin, here's the muscle, here's the bones, whatever. To the point that you could like study it and learn it and know it. Now it's like one thing. You go to medical school, you read all the books, all that shit. But the first doctors who were like, all right, there's some sort of like growth in your body, and I'm gonna open it up and cut it out and save you. Like what? For like a cancerous tumor or something.
Yeah.
Or, the first guy who was like, we can, attack, like we can, even like LASIK, like some guy in modern times was like, we're going to get in there with a laser beam and we're going to fucking like, I don't know, do whatever they do. And you're going to be able to see again. Or, the first guy
None
was
of it makes
like,
any sense at all.
you tore a little ACL. We're going to like, go in there and stitch it up. You'll be able to run again. Like things like that are just like, I can't fix or do anything. I got a light bulb that goes out, I'm fucked. And you guys can fix a body.
If my light bulb goes out, I move house. That's what happens.
Gone. Done. If I clip my fingernails, I'm like, clipped it too short. I'm done. I'm out of commission. Amputate it. All right. How low can you go on that?
On that?
Yeah.
Not very low.
All right, well, let's see. I guess
I'm
I
trying to
won't look,
see
and then
here.
he'll do it. You go as low as you can, and then I'll
Okay.
Hold on. Right?
This
or should
is-
I leave the room or?
All right. So it's.
I'll-
I can get under.
you got to be the judge here and see how far he can go, and then I'll come
okay.
back in and see how low I go.
All right.
all right.
Let's start at 5.
Start at 5. Okay. PECFD.
Okay. 6.
EDFCZF.
No.
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 Oh, P at the end.
Okay. Yeah.
FELOPS. Nope. ZD.
Yeah.
Now we're in a tough spot. D.
I'm pretty sure you're only like half the distance, and it's double the size of what it normally is.
What do you mean?
I'm pretty sure this is supposed to be printed out on like a computer piece of paper stuck to the wall, and you're supposed to be like 15 feet away.
Get out of town.
I remember
And I'm
this.
supposed to be able to read all this?
I think they say down to 8. Anything?
Okay, well, I can kind of get to 8. DEF
I feel like you said get out of town. Does that mean you lost?
No.
P0TDC. This literally hurts my head, by the way.
No. You got one wrong in that last row.
At one wrong?
Yeah.
Okay, one wrong's pretty good.
You got through the whole thing?
I got to 8. 8's where you need to get to.
Let's do 9 though for fun.
Okay.
Wait,
9.
wait. Hang on. Let me just see if I can.
All right.
So E, F, P, T, O, Z, L, P, E, D, P, E, C, F, D, E, D, F, C, Z, P, F, E, L. Oh, wait.
You're on line 7 now, right?
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
F, E, L, O, P, Z, D,
Yep.
D, E, F, Z, O,
Nope.
T, Z, C,
Nope.
F, G,
How many did he get wrong?
You got
D-
2 wrong in that.
You got
last
2
one.
wrong. I got 1.
D, what is it? D, E, F, G, D, E, F. By the way, I'm a little bit further.
I knew that.
Yeah.
I wasn't going to bring it up.
It probably would make a difference if I.
What I was saying to John, this is like probably double the size it's normally supposed to be, and you guys are about half the distance you're normally supposed to. I think it's like 15 feet
That's definitely not double the size.
on like a computer sheet of paper. It's also illuminated.
I don't think it's usually a computer sheet of paper. I think it's usually a big chart. I think that's actually smaller than usual.
I don't know. I need glasses.
I'm with you.
Because I usually get to like the end.
Yeah, I
usually-
mean, the end is.
Well, I also haven't done this in like 20 years, but I usually get to like the very bottom where like I have been at a doctor where they're like, okay, that's the chart. Like you've done the chart.
Did you just finished it?
Yeah. But that, I mean, again, that was probably,
I
haven't done an eye
don't think I've
test
done it
in
since
so
elementary
long.
school.
Yeah. So, I mean, I guess we're not fighter pilots anymore. Like,
No, unfortunately not. Not
that is a weird thing that probably because I knew I had good eyesight, I would always be like, I got great vision. Like I would like pride myself on it because it's like you can't really like you're very rarely gonna have to prove it, and if you did, you usually like when people say they're blind, they're like really blind. Like usually like people couldn't read the Alonzo on
Right.
that, you know. I'm like, you're fucking, you would die in the olden days. You're worthless.
You're worthless.
You are a worthless human.
No one say I use that word, please. By the way.
Yeah, but like back in the day, man, all that shit.
I mean, let's just say like it is.
I mean,
what a blind person.
Your girlfriend is blind, and she's like 5 feet tall and 90 pounds. She'd be dead in a heartbeat. She would be killed immediately, if not by like wild animals and like the other tribe, by like her own tribe. They'd be like, I don't know, let's just eat this one. Like she can't lift heavy things. She can't farm the land. You know, she just weighs us down. Kill the weakest link. Goodbye. Just get this bitch up. We'll just eat her for dinner.
I was like, how did people like you operate at any point in history
Without
before
the
Benjamin
aid of-
Franklin?
yeah.
It doesn't make sense to me how.
And there's a lot of them.
I feel like most people
Yeah,
can't see.
right. It's
That's
more rare than not
that's
to
why
have
we're
no
so overpopulated
because we can all see.
because glasses were invented.
Yeah, everyone.
Like,
There's no thinning of the herd.
yeah, like
Yeah.
if the world would just existed as it used to,
Maybe that's what
most of the
maybe
people
that's what
would
COVID
die.
is. Maybe COVID's like we got to
Like-
correct the course for the fucking eyesight.
do you have glasses?
No, I need them.
You need
You need them. I was gonna say that's the other thing is that there are people who don't have them who are just like, well, I'm walking around like I need them and I'm lazy.
I would guess, obviously a very clear guess. I would guess like 80% of the people have some kind
sort
of
issue.
vision correction.
I would say it's probably more like Well, yeah, I mean, I guess whatever you like, if you need some sort of anything, you like glasses to read or pop anything on, because you could also have like kind of bad vision and just like live through it.
Yeah,
It's not that.
but
If you have an issue, I bet it's like 50-50 where it's like an issue I would need to fix, like I have to address, or like I can't like read the book or read the sign or whatever.
Imagine if just half the people weren't here anymore, or half the people couldn't go in public.
Thanos snap and all the blindos are gone. Everybody was just like looking out of the bottom of their glasses, their bifocals. You're fucking dead. Like my brother, like he would not be able to drive. Like he would be legally not allowed to drive. He'd be legally like not allowed to do a lot of things. He's lucky he can have a kid, because as we know, blind people can't raise children. But I mean, we don't have to get into that. But I still stand by that firmly. 2 blind parents cannot raise a toddler, a little baby by themselves, like a newborn, where it's like, I don't know, would crawl off the fucking end of the off a balcony because nobody could see it.
It's a fair point. It's a fair point.
You know, you can't see if your baby's like playing with a knife. You can't see if your baby's gonna touch the fire. I don't know. You fucking blind people. It's all I've got, so I latch onto it. I don't think I have good hearing.
I think I have awful hearing.
Yeah,
I regularly just say.
But like I know. We say we can't hear things in bars and shit like that.
Right.
But like, you know, have you ever done like the headphones that's like boop?
Again,
20 years ago, right?
School, yeah.
I'm pretty sure I have a vision of them being like, no, yeah, you raise your hand when the sound goes on, and I was like, I know. Did the sound go on? Have you been? They were like, yeah, we've been doing it like the whole time. And I was like, oh fuck. But I'm pretty sure like Clem got his ears professionally cleaned. You know, when they like. You know, they dig out fucking like buried treasure in your ears. Yeah. And he was like, he was like, I can hear things now. He didn't realize how much.
Really?
He said it was like a change in his life where it was like, oh my God. I didn't realize I was walking around with like my fucking ears plugged the whole time. Because I
need to get that.
And that's probably what people do with their. See, I think I am always digging my ears out. But I feel like sometimes these things
Dude,
are like
I do
in
it
your
like
brain.
every day. And
you do Q-tips?
Not every day, but like yes.
So what you gotta get, I have like these fucking tools. I have like a little fucking thing that you open up, and it's got these like metal things. Because the Q-tip does just kind of push it in.
Yes.
This shit you can kind of get like behind and under. And like,
no. Too gross.
See, but that's
too gross.
You know, guess what's gross? The inside of your fucking ears, bro.
Right. I know for sure. Like, every time I use a Q-tip, it's disgustingly dirty.
Yeah,
they're so dirty. I hide them.
Yeah, you're embarrassed
from my girlfriend.
It's like wrapping up a tampon.
It's exactly what I do. I get toilet paper.
When it gets that dark, you know what I mean? I'm like, this is like it looks like shit.
But I'm like I did this yesterday.
I know. You got waxy ears, bro. Some people just have it. Some people just
It doesn't make any sense.
I'm gonna get you my fucking thing. One of them is like a spiral, and so you like twist it and it just.
Dude, I'm gonna kill myself with this.
Oh yeah, I do. Sometimes I touch my brain. I'm like,
I'm gonna go too far.
Sometimes I hit my brain. It like sends a zap down this arm. I'm like, whoa! It's a sexual experience. So I think I'm clean, but you know, if you're one of these people that's got it like deep in your brain, who fucking knows?
I have it very deep in my brain.
For the record, we're starting this episode at 4:00, so like we are going to be, rock and fucking roll today. It's brought to you by Roman, which is perfect because we're going to be talking about our dicks and porn and all that shit. And if you want your dick to be big and you want it to be big longer, Roman's got the. Speaking of this on topic with like our whole conversation, think about for the 99.999999999% of humanity. It's like if your dick doesn't work, you're shit out of luck. And if your dick comes too soon, you're shit out of luck.
Yeah.
And then along comes Roman. And if your hair falls out, you're shit out of luck. Yep. And then Roman's like, pow, pow, pow. We got all 3 of those things for you. You're going to have a full head of hair, which means people are going to want your dick again, which you're going to be able to get harder. And you're going to be able to use it longer now. I mean, talk about a 3-step program to just getting people laid again.
That sounds like a Harry Potter magic spell.
Yeah, like these are things. You can't convince me that Roman is not the workings of a genie. I think that someone found a magic lamp with a genie and said, like, I'll give you 3 wishes. And someone was like, I want to be able to fix hair, dicks, and yeah. And then someone was like, here you go, you are now the CEO of Roman. And like and now they have bestowed this gift, like the fucking patent on those genie wishes ran out and they made them for the masses. Because those are 3 things that back in the day you would have thought of as like well, these are just like problems that God like balanced out the universe with, and we just can't fix it. And now it's magic. Roman is magic. And the best thing of all is the Roman swipes, because the hair pills and the dick pills are like prescription medicines where, you have to worry about maybe some side effects, or you have to like check with your doctor, prescription for you. The swipes is just good old fashioned, like everyday magic. You don't have to worry. It's not a prescription. It's affordable. You open it up, you rub it on your dick, you go a little bit numb. You can fuck for longer, teach your dick how to last longer, and you don't have to worry about a prescription or your doctor or anything. So that to me is the easiest and best option. But they've got it all for you. So whether you want the prescriptions or non-prescriptions, all of it is clinically proven to work and be effective and be safe, so that you'll last longer in bed. Go to getroman.com/KFC for your first month of swipes for just $5 when you choose a monthly plan. That's getroman.com/KFC. While we were talking about dicks, last week I asked the question about...
Honestly, this could be 3 topics.
What?
Like, just whatever you're
Where
about,
I'm about to go?
I don't know where you're about to go. Like,
Yeah, but you have 3 in mind?
Well, it's
Or
just
you're
like,
saying-
the things we discussed beforehand.
Oh,
that
right,
we might
right.
talk about. Like,
I know, the fucking
this
like intro of the show.
Yeah, this could be a bunch of things.
Well, last week I asked like Nick about, would you like film our porn? Right.
Right.
And it just, like it got me thinking like you'd have to change your whole way that you look at us and the whole way you view us and what Nick looks at now when he's filming. And we put out the goddamn Jets this week. My cock is just out. It's just fucking out. And I didn't know that. And I don't think Nick knew that. I don't know.
Nope, had no idea.
Yeah, like-
Saw
like,
the comments, was like, oops.
I don't think Nick is looking for that, Like, I don't think he's, he's framing me and looking at lighting and probably my face and, we're holding the T-shirt and all that. And I don't think he's like, all right, like hair. Okay, let me check his dick. Oh, nope, his cock's out. We can't do that. I mean, I'm just wearing like a pair. Thank God I was black. If it was gray, it would have looked like I was fucking trying to put on a show. Just dick out.
Dude,
Dick out.
You can see we both had a dick out Sunday in the Chicks in the Office picture. For the
Dick
Taylor
out
Swift
Sunday might be a
review.
new thing.
like
You
can
fellas
see
want to have a dick out Sunday? Hashtag DOS. Let's go.
in the picture we took for you can just see my dick.
on where can I find like the Chicks in the Office account?
Yeah.
On Twitter or
And maybe it's just maybe I had a few mentions of it. But
yeah. I mean, well, that's the thing. I got like a couple where it's
I'm
like
more
that's-
in my own head probably.
Oh yeah, well the thing is you're wearing plaid and it gets like distorted. Like you can see the bump. If you weren't wearing plaid, you wouldn't be able to tell that. But that almost looks like a Photoshop where you see like somebody bent it. You know what I mean? Yeah, that's just a dick that's distorting some plaid. Yeah, my tweets, my comments were not. It was nothing. I'm not saying that people were like, wow, but there was definitely like a few people being like, anybody else looking at KFC's cock or what? Yeah, anyone else looking at KFC's junk in those sweatpants, or is everyone else normal? What is KFC's pulling a Greg Norman on us? Is that a dick reference? Or is that
Greg Norman. It
cock
just
out?
happened.
Yeah.
He just had.
So that was another comment.
Like he was just.
I had a feeling. I was like, that's probably about my dick.
Dude, Greg. I mean, getting Greg Norman is pretty good because Greg Norman.
Oh, okay. Okay, I like that. I wasn't sure, if it's like a tiny dick.
No.
Oh yeah, I'll
Yeah.
take that.
Yeah.
You're comparing me to that? If you're comparing me to that, let's fucking
Man, that's
go.
a hog piece.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to be reasonable here and say it does not look like that. But if you're even, remotely comparing it to me, I will certainly take that. A couple girls, hey, I'm liking the sweatpants. Nice cock, bro. I mean, that was just my dick. I got a couple DMs being like, nice. Like one DM was just like, KFC, your dick is out. And I was like, fuck, you're right. It is.
You can just see my penis.
But
right now.
I don't. It's not why Nick gets paid. He's not thinking to do that. If he was filming our porn, he probably would.
Yes, he would have to.
So I mean, maybe from
it would
now
be an
on,
important piece of the porn.
Sundays, yeah, the most important piece. Sundays, I'm gonna come to the office for goddamn Jets. I'm gonna always be wearing sweatpants on a Sunday, and you're gonna have to do a dick check. Nick's gonna have to be like, put that thing away, or I don't know, maybe we fluff it up. Maybe that's the
don't put it
theme
away.
here.
Yeah, better get out.
Goddamn jet sweats. Let's go.
Goddamn idea.
sweats. All right.
That's not a bad idea with like a crashing crashing plane right across your junk, and I'll be in the background helicoptering it up. I mean, it's one of those things. It's like, oh no, wasn't people being like, oh, look at your extremely tiny pecker. It was just
Right.
like, I can see
You
your
can see
dick.
a penis.
It's like, 20/20 vision. Those people probably have bad vision. They could still see my dick. So, without even contacts or anything, cock out. So you're welcome, folks. You're welcome.
Yeah. I bet you got a lot of nice comments there. Maybe a couple DMs. Maybe a couple ladies saying hi.
I also I'm in the cameo world, and that seems to like kind of come in waves. Like for whatever reason, like sometimes I'll just get a bunch. Did you know Kevin Malone, Brian
$1 million
Baumgartner,
next year.
$1 million?
Yeah.
I mean, I always kind of struggle with Cameo because I'm like, when I, it's Cameo is like OnlyFans for people who don't want to fuck, right?
That's true.
And the way you grow it is by putting it on your regular social media by saying, "Go book me on Cameo over here." And I do that sparingly because it's it's like the internet form of begging, panhandling. And anytime I do it, I immediately get flooded with like comments. People are like, "Oh, child support is hitting you hard." I'm like, "Yes, it is.
Yes, exactly.
Like that's
Correct.
not a joke. That's just correct. I need the money." So I'm always kind of trying to figure out the balance between how do I promote it and should I promote it, and I want to fly under the radar, but I want to make money. If I hear that, like, and I'm not obviously a cult hero like Kevin Malone, Brian Baumgartner is, but like, if you mean to tell me that if you go balls to the wall and like put it out there, you can make that kind of money,
Millions of dollars.
like then maybe Barstool ends up being my side gig. Let's go fucking Cameo. Like I know Biz does it, but Biz is Biz. Biz is like basically a fucking celebrity and already comes from, and he just has the built-in. He said that he gets a bunch that are like, yo, I got a men's league game tonight, or we got a draft, or we got a championship game, or just like the hockey busting balls in general, like talk about your wrench, shit like that. Where there's really nothing like a hook like that for me. But $1 million is fucking. I mean, good for him.
$1 million is, and that's not counting like his royalties on The Office.
Right, like that. Yeah, that like when you're like your very much side gig from The Office is going to get you $1 million. Let me see what he charges, Brian.
I bet Spotify. Because he has the Office podcast, which I'm sure he gets a bump. I bet Brian Baumgartner makes over $5 million a year
from The Office.
From The Office. Yeah,
like that is. So he charges $199.99. So I don't know if that was
how long when you make a cameo? How long of a video do you do?
like I go in, I give people what they want. I'll give them like 2-3 minutes.
Dude, okay, so I've only ever bought one cameo, and I bought it for my dad. I got John Hanna,
Who's that?
Patriots offensive lineman, like probably like the first great Patriots player ever.
Okay.
And he's the man. He's a legend. And it was one of the best videos of all time. Like he has an eye patch. And
my God.
he goes on for 8 minutes.
Yeah, well that
So,
okay.
like, it
so
was-
that's extreme.
Yeah,
Really
it was so extreme that I couldn't figure out how to send it to my dad.
yeah.
Because
It's
like,
too
it was
long.
to
You can't
text,
you can't
it's too long
text
to
it. You want
email.
email.
I was like, I don't know how to get you this.
Hey, Dad, I
fucking
gotta
video.
Dropbox you.
Yeah.
Well, like it says things like like just take 30 seconds and like get them their video, like a little notification. I'm like, I don't want to do that. You know what I mean? Like, so I'm like, if you're gonna pay, that's the other thing too. Is like our whole thing is like where you have access to us. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But to do like a customized thing, whatever, throw me a few bucks. But so Brian Baumgartner charges $200. So, and then you got to do Cameo gets their cut, Apple gets their cut. So you kind of get like 50% taken off the
Oh,
top.
I didn't know Apple got a cut.
Apple was an app, so Apple gets their 30% of everything. So you're basically
Really?
getting like 50%.
I don't
off
think I
the
knew
top.
that. I don't think I knew how apps worked.
Yeah, like ATI, 30%. I think it's 30%.
Really?
Right off the top, yeah.
Oh my!
Yeah.
Apple must be really doing well.
That's why, I mean, dude, think about Apple does not put any effort into the podcast. It's the biggest thing in the world, and they're just like, yeah, we have a podcast app. They don't make it better. They don't do anything. Like Spotify's come in with recommended and playlists, and Apple's like, whatever.
Yeah.
Listen to it. Don't listen to it. We're gonna go make $1,000 headphones. We don't care. But
We
so
don't give a shit.
if he's doing $1 million, I'd imagine it's not like after the cut, so it's probably like $1 million like gross. But so that's 5,000 videos.
That's a lot of videos.
Yeah. So if you do, 5,000,
What's that
right?
divided by
Wait,
360?
1 million divided by 200 is 5,000. Let's say divided by 365, you're doing 14 videos a day.
Oh, Oh, that's not bad.
It's not bad, but if you
But
do,
it is a
you know,
lot.
if you're doing like 3-4 minutes, you know, it actually does like add up when no, what am I talking about? 13 videos in a day to get $1 million? Like, no, I'll do 130 in a day, you know, and I'll just bang them out. But anyway, if you want to book me on Cameo, KFC Barstool on Cameo, I'll make you like a little 1 minute man, or I'll berate you or whatever. I did go off the rails on one. There was this group that booked one. They had a husband and wives fantasy league, and they were like, the playoffs are set. Here's the winner's bracket. Here's the loser's bracket. Can you roast these people? And I'm thinking, and here I am projecting and coming in with my like toxic mind. I'm like, this is a disaster. I'm like, it's probably like a fun thing that these couples do, you know? And I'm thinking about like husbands and wives fighting and couples bickering. And I'm like, what, you know, Susie and fucking Steve are like, you know, breaking the rules with a waiver wire, and all of a sudden they get cut out of game night, and da-da-da. I'm like going on and on. I'm like, do you guys swing at all? Is anybody fucking mixing it up at night? And I was like, I gotta go. I'm sorry. They just wanted like, hey, you're in the playoffs. Hey, you're not in the playoffs. I'm like, do you guys fuck each other? So I don't know. I try to go hard, but maybe I went a little too hard. But you'll get your money's worth. That's a promise. One guy actually did. He gave me 3 stars, and so Cameo went. They bestowed it upon themselves to describe what that meant. It said like, Steve gave you 3 stars, and it said like, it was a fine Cameo. It was not the best. It was not the worst. I was like,
All right,
well,
Steve.
I was like, okay, Steve, why don't you give me another crack at it? Why don't you give me a little more information to work with? Maybe I didn't have much to paint with,
It was
okay?
a fine Cameo. It was not the best.
Yeah.
It was not the worst.
It's like, what is this fucking
Like, I'd rather be the worst, you
Dickens?
asshole.
It was the best of days. It was the worst of days. Yeah, I don't want to be the best. Fuck you. But book me on Cameo, please. All right, we got Sam Morril on the show today. Unbelievable comedian who I said on radio, I think he is the best joke writer today, alive.
Yes.
Like joke
you're
writer and delivery man. When it comes to just punchlines and setups and like the crafting of a joke, I think he is the best on the planet. So he's on the show today talking about his new special, and he has a joke and an analogy that I think is maybe the best like I've ever heard.
Well, I mean, I texted it to you. Like,
Yeah.
the moment I heard it, I was like, Kevin's got to hear this.
As far as accuracy, like the right analogy, the metaphor, the delivery, and the punchline, I think it's the best joke I've ever heard. So we got that. We have another interview.
Josh.
And Josh Potter on the show, who is out of the Your Mom's House camp, working with Segura and Christina P. and Bert Kreischer, who we also learned Christina P. Push is the only other person in the world who showers
Christina,
like Final
get
Burn.
at me. I mean,
She
there are 2 of us alive.
that put clothes on while soaking wet. It's almost weird. Like it makes sense in our world. And actually, I guess it makes sense for both of our worlds because Your Mom's House and KFC Radio are very similar in the sense of like we're just fucking weird and all cards on the table. Your Mom's House is like a whole enterprise, but you know we do a lot of weird shit on both shows, so it makes sense that those would be the 2 people who the internet knows their drying off policies. You know, it's like we should not know that about anybody.
That's true.
But we know it about you and Christina P.
Me and Christina,
that
just
you
get
guys
dressed
put
wet.
your clothes on while soaking wet. What the fuck?
Soaking is harsh. I put it on moist.
God. Almost worse. Like I could see like you get out of the
you know-
shower and you're in a rush and you just put it on and you're just like, oh, whatever, I'm wet. But to be like, I could continue to dry off, but I'm not going to. I'm just gonna put it on like I'm a wet mop.
You know what the stupidest thing is too?
Putting your clothes on while wet.
Is that now that I know people know, I almost get
keep doing
dressed
it?
wetter.
Yeah.
Like I don't even.
You are the contrarian. You really are. It's like, fuck you. I'm gonna.
Like-
You're gonna be in this. You know what you're gonna do? You're gonna be showering clothes on one day.
It's not like
You're
there's
gonna be, I'm
like
not even gonna put the.
camera in my bathroom, but I'm just like
Gotta stay true to
I'm
yourself.
like, yeah, I'm like, all right, like you know what? That might have been. I might have got myself a little too dry here. I'm gonna jump back in the shower. Then I'll get dressed.
You are a spectacular idiot. You are as dumb as they get. It's gonna be a fun one next week or this week, couple days. No, tomorrow. Shit, tomorrow. Right? Yeah, tomorrow. KFC Radio presents a very Barstool Christmas live show tomorrow, 8:00. Chris DiStefano, Are You Garbage coming through. An appearance from Nick and KB. We'll have some videos from your favorite Barstool personalities. We'll be chopping it up at the Casa de Fights.
Yeah.
His worthless girlfriend maybe in the background. So come celebrate Christmas with us because we're, after that, like next week we have a short week and then we're gone for the New Year. So we get a nice little break. So get it in with us.
I can't fucking wait for
break.
that.
Yeah.
I mean,
Need it.
it's
They
like part of me since this quarantine started, like when they see like the unemployment numbers and people losing their jobs, and I'm sometimes just like, I am jealous of that.
Yeah. Man, I didn't know what you were going to say there. It actually took me a minute. If you can run back the tape, I just kind of stare at you for a second like, what? Oh!
Like,
Yeah.
I would just
the grass is always greener, you fucking unemployed idiots. It's fun. You should love the fact that you don't have any income.
I just need a vacation.
Well, honestly speaking,
I was supposed to take a vacation 9 months ago.
I know.
Right?
You were right. You were ready to
I was
book to
literally
Europe.
I'm still paid for it. I just can't go.
I mean, I've been planning on taking a trip for 5 years.
Yeah.
Right? The grass is always greener.
It was
You think that having a job right now is a good thing? Fucking, that's another.
Yo, you got free $1,200 from the government 9 months ago. Like, you're sitting pretty.
I did do. Speaking of Cameo, I did do one. This girl was like, I just got dumped like 6 years via text, and I'm alone on Christmas for the first time in a long time, and I was like, that sounds great. I was like, what are you complaining about? You got nothing to worry about. You can do whatever you want. But yeah, the fact that actually we'll get into it. It's brought to you by Viori. Viori means mountain. Did you know that? In what language, John?
Italian.
No, Russian.
Russian?
No, it's Italian.
Oh, okay.
I mean, it's gotta be. It's gotta fucking be Italian. Viori, VUORI.com. It means mountain, but to us, it represents the view from the summit, the expansive clarity it can provide, and the awe-inspiring experience it can bring. What do you think we're talking about here? Because we're talking about sweatpants. We're talking about sweatpants. And I love that.
I knew the answer.
That fact that these people take their sweatpants and their sweatshirts that fucking serious, the view from the summit.
Of all clothes, sweatpants and sweatshirts should be the ones taken most seriously.
Absolutely. Because that's also where like fancy clothes, it's like you're wearing this for the look, and like you're gonna have to sacrifice, you know?
Right.
There should be no sacrifice with the sweats. Like, make them comfortable, but make them look good. Make them functional, but make them, perfect them. And that's what people like Viori have done. They get to the top. They've got to the summit. And they got a new perspective on the performance apparel, where you used to, gym gear is like you put on gym clothes and it's like, all right, you're a fucking meathead. Like, you're going to the gym, Not anymore. Now,
it has been a very nice change.
Oh, it's great, man. It's like it's not like here's your tank top and your fucking like Belichick cut off sweatshirt, Now it's like you got this athleisure wear, and it's lounge wear, it's going out clothes, it's gym clothes, it's everything. You can use it for pretty much any activity, from running errands to yoga and training to just hanging out on the couch. Versatile, comfortable, looks great, and you can get it right now for 20% off when you go to viori.com, VUORI.com/KFC. Get 20% off your first purchase and enjoy free shipping on any U.S. orders over $75. Also free returns. That's viori.com/KFC. Discover the versatility of Viori clothing. How about the move from Portnoy? $500K.
Ooh, forgot about that.
That is... Because you said, the government gave you a little $1,200 stimulus check, and that was 9 months ago. And, nothing else has happened, and they're just shutting shit down again. And I don't know.
Was it 1,200 or 18? Whatever it was.
I think it was 12, yeah. But, I don't know the answer. I've been somewhere in the middle this whole time. And, I know people don't like that, but it's like I always have been like, I don't want people to die, but I also understand you can't kill livelihoods. And I don't know what the answer is, but I do know it's gone on long enough now that you can't have only done one thing one time.
Dude,
to help people
I think
out.
every other country in the world, like every other
has
first
done
world
way
country,
more.
I think they give like
times.
$3,000 a month.
It's crazy. I don't get how come they can't just be like, you don't have to pay rent, and the fucking landlords don't have to pay this bill, and just kick it up the chain until we just freeze it for a fucking month, and let some things let the vaccine get out there. I don't know, but the fact that we just haven't done anything. But a guy like fucking Dave Portnoy is doing more. And you know what this is, by the way? This is the 2020 version of the purple starfish shorts. He got bullied into this.
Did he?
Well, not bullied into
it, but
got a way richer dude was like, I'll put up $500K. Will you? And it's like, well, you have to now.
Yeah.
But that's him getting to the register being like, these are $100.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying.
Fuck, I have to do it anyway.
When you said shorts, I thought Purple Starfish jerseys.
No, the pennies. No,
Yes,
this is when Dave, the original Purple Starfish.
But much
became
like
a
the
thing.
Purple Starfish shorts, it is a mistake and something you're bullied into that will be very beneficial for you in the long run.
Absolutely. It's the right move.
Right.
Yeah. But in the moment, he's like, too much pride to just be like, okay, I'm going to put down the $100 pair of shorts and just buy, I think they're like $200. Yeah, it was like $200 pair of swimming trunks that he, could have just put back, but he didn't want to look like.
Vilbicrium, I believe. Was
Really? Yeah, that's some clean living, to quote our guys from Are You Garbage. And so he gets bullied into buying it. And this, like he couldn't come out on Twitter and be like, all right, well, I'll do like 100,000 because I'm not as rich as you. By the way, how rich is that guy? I mean, Dave's like rich now. There aren't many people who have more than him, right? At least net worth type shit.
Yeah.
But so Dave throws out $500,000.
It's a lot. It's a lot.
I don't know what is that. What is it? Like, how do people get this? Or like, I had bar owners hitting me up. I'm like, I don't fucking know, dude. Like, this is now in like $1 million trust from rich guys. I can't fucking.
Well, I think that was Dave's stipulation.
Was like, you handle it.
Exactly my stipulation with everything too. I'll pay for it.
Right.
That's
what I bring to the table.
What my
I
dad
can write the
used
check.
to-
I can write the fucking. I can sign the name at the bottom. You got to do all the work.
I think my dad's phrase, and I don't know if it was original. It's original to me because what I was told as a child was always, "I buy, you fly."
There you go.
Like
Done.
you're going to do it. You're going to pick it up. You're going to get it. I'll pay for it. But
which
you're
to me
doing
is
everything
an
that needs work.
admirable. Like there's value in both sides of it.
Yeah.
If you're a do-it-yourself guy or the hands-on guy, fine. But also I make it happen. So
like, yeah.
it's like
you want pizza for dinner? Fine, I'll pay for it. Go fucking pick it up.
It's like the producer-host thing. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like you're gonna have to do the grunt work, but we do this, and without you, I couldn't do it. Without me, you couldn't do it. Like we both pull up our end. We both pull our weight in here. But $500K from Portnoy, who is just.
And I do.
I mean, this like. I don't remember where you stood, but like, Dave's gonna be the president. Dave's gonna run for president.
Yes,
like
I
things
agree with
like
that.
things like this start to snowball. You know what I realized you need to be the president nowadays? At least like if like the Donald Trump effect like holds any long term effects. You got to be like stupid enough to be the president, because like a rational person would be like, I can't be president.
Right.
Like I had a tweet go viral. And I'm blessed enough to have a lot of money and that I like did donate, but I can't be president. But right now, Dave he got 50,000 retweets and people are buzzing about a $500,000 donation. And he's like, I could do this.
Yeah.
I could be the president.
For sure.
So you gotta like crazy, equally stupid.
Yeah, good, but you're just not using the word psychopath.
Yeah.
And that's not my thought. It's actually one of my favorite lines from Mindhunter. Is when they first I forget the actress's name or the character's name, but they first start working with the woman in Mindhunter, and they say like she's explaining like how she understands the psychopathy of all presidents, and I think he asks well how do you get to become president if you're a psychopath, and she says, you don't get to become one if you're not.
You're not.
Right.
Yeah.
And I was like,
you
right.
gotta have like the right level of ego, the right level of like disconnect from the rest of the world, like like feelings, all that shit. Because I think it's either like if I was in the position, I would be too rational to be like, I am not like smart enough or capable enough.
Yeah.
And then if you really are smart enough and capable enough, you're like, I'm gonna go in the private sector and make billions. So why would I do that?
Well,
so like,
that's
who
another
the
line
fuck
from
becomes president?
House of Cards. That's a line from House of Cards.
What
Where
do they
Frank
say?
Underwood says that people who work in the private sector choose money over power, and it's like money will buy you. I forget exactly what his line is, but he's like money will buy you a McMansion, power will buy you a stone mansion. That will last forever.
Right. Psychopath though too. Like that's fucking
right.
crazy. It's like I'll just take the regular ass mansion, dude. I don't need the one that was. Speaking of presidents, did you see the Sasha Obama picture?
No.
I don't know if it's photoshopped or just a different girl or what, but there's a picture of what is supposed to be Sasha Obama floating around, which is like girl done grown up. If it is, really her. It's her like in a bathing suit in a crop top, but the main thing to me is the fella in the background. That guy looks like he is ready to pounce. And I don't know her enough, like, but at this age, the Malia and Sasha went through like, we saw them when they were like 11, and now now they're like 20, and it's like it's a big difference. But like I saw a couple of TikToks of her floating around. I'm like, I don't know, it does look like her, but that would be wild. That's something that that we haven't seen yet, really, right? Like like a first daughter, like the Bush twin, the Bush girls,
the Bush girls.
But like to be. Like, I don't remember, maybe that's just because I was too young, but, like, I don't remember seeing them when they were young and then seeing them become, like, if they're going to be, like, I mean, yeah, I guess it is the Bush girls, but if I think social media has blown up so much more.
But, like, the Bush girls were, like, on, like, the I don't know, front page or back page. Like, they were in, like, the Post, like,
yeah, they were, like, they were like, paparazzi type.
Because they were
like, tabloids. I think this is, like, I don't know, catch fucking Obama girls on, like, OnlyFans or some shit at this rate, where it's, like, you can't control that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like you had.
I mean, I have no idea what side. I think Malia I would probably recognize just because she's the older one, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So I had no clue.
Even when I first somebody sent me that, and they were like, "Dude," and I was like, "I don't know who that is."
Right.
And then I like pieced it together by like Googling it. So I don't know her face well enough, but if one of them is just like a wild child. And it's all over social media now, not just like page 6 type shit.
Like Malia did that. She was
smoking weed,
I was
right?
gonna say not wild. It
Yeah.
definitely wasn't wild,
Yeah.
child. But like she's been seen smoking weed or cigarettes a couple
Right.
times, like drinking.
Which is like, of
And
course,
it's like,
you know what I mean?
She's
It's
at
like,
Lollapalooza,
right,
like,
right.
yeah,
But
she's-
even if like they're like crazy and like fucking and doing, it's like they lived a weird ass life. Where,
also, but like
they might be like
that's not even crazy. That's just
Yeah,
what a 19-year-old
right
does
for sure. But if they were to like go wild, they'd be like, yeah, they were like, kind of like trapped in the White House for their formative years.
Yeah,
they might be a little bit. They might be a little bit wacky. They might be a little bit like rebellious. Who fucking knows? We'll get into our top 5s in a moment. But first, the big news of the day here at KFC Radio. To be honest, we should have opened with this.
Yeah, I know.
This is our breaking news.
We've done 4 or 5 topics. I was like, not doing the Pornhub yet, huh?
Yeah, I think I dropped the ball there because I feel like people are tuning in like, well, we have to hear about KFC Radio on the Pornhub. Like, this is our moment. This is like politics for Hard Factor or the Super Bowl for fucking PMT or something. Like, we've got to talk about Pornhub. So it's brought to you by Harry's. Harry's is an honest company who's going to bring you honest products, quality products at good prices that you're going to need every day of your life. Every week of your life, you're going to be shaving. You're going to trim your beard. You're going to shave your face. You need the shaving cream. You need the razors. You need it all. So why don't you just get it delivered right to your door? Cut out the bullshit where you have to go shopping. Cut out the extra price, the extra money you spend. Just do it all. Streamline the whole thing. Have it delivered right to your door for cheaper prices. And I mean, dude, this is so ridiculous. I can't even, like, every time I do this ad read, I feel ridiculous. It's $3. $3 for a set. If you charge me $3 for a set of anything,
Well, $3 is free.
it's $0.
So it's a free.
And then when you sign up, it's $2 per refill. That's
also free.
also free. That's $1 less than free. I mean, that's like I have razors for free. I just have razors. I own the razors of the world.
And
now.
it's and they're very nice.
German engineered, bro.
And it's on these.
And we know Germans are gonna engineer the fuck out of that.
They're like, it's like got a good weight to it.
They got the ergonomic handle.
Yeah.
The trial set for $3 comes with a 5-blade razor, a weighted ergonomic handle, which is like it's got weight to it, so just like shaves it right down, and the foaming shave gel with aloe, and then it comes with a travel cover too if you're on the go. I mean, for $3, if you told me, if you went to the store right now and said I need a cover for my razor, they would say that's $3.99.
Right. Oh.
And you get all of the other shit for basically free. It's insane. So go to harrys.com/KFC. That's HARRYS. Harrys.com/KFC and get the trial set, today. And then when you sign up, you can get the blades coming at a regularly scheduled rate, however often you want, for just $2 per refill. It's absolutely insane. harrys.com/KFC. The great Pornhub Purge of 2020. When the historians write the book about the year of our Lord 2020, coronavirus will be second. Number 1 will be the Pornhub Purge. 10 million videos deleted from Pornhub, which didn't actually sound like a lot to me until I found out that there was only 3 million remaining.
Yeah,
That's a big
they had 13 and a
fucking
half total,
number.
I think, and now they're down to like 2
Huge
something.
number.
That's
you could have told me there was a billion porns and I would have believed you. But
Right.
10 million got deleted. Now, it's all in the name of exceptionally good stuff. like the most noble thing, seriously, that Pornhub has ever done, because they probably take a hit on this. Like, and
for sure.
and they're doing it to stop. Like, unfortunately, I guess. Do you remember when Pornhub was limited? I don't remember those days. But relatively recently, you used to get 5 videos per day, and that was it.
I feel like that was like that lasted for like a week.
Is that? I thought it was the opposite. I thought it was like it used to be that way, and then it opened up.
I think I have no recollection. I do remember being told like too much porn for you today.
I don't think I did. So,
But
I
it was
also
like-
was,
it only
I was
happened-
also
it
a
happened
UJIS
very
guy for a
few-
while.
Happened very few times.
So
I was also
used to
a
be
UJIS guy for a while.
Yeah, me too.
I don't
And
know
then
what the switch happened.
I just
but,
remember.
like, everyone's.
Do you know why you did it?
Do you know why I switched?
Yeah.
No.
I vividly and decidedly remember that just like everything on Pornhub front page was anal. Like everything was like cut to the chase, you know. You just had to search for it. Pornhub was giving me what I wanted. But yeah, so like relative, I think it was like early 2000s. It was like 5 videos per day, and then you got cut off. And then they opened it up to like the whole world, and it's like open source or crowdsourced or whatever you want to call it. And because of that, you know, they were like the dominant brand in porn, but also that means like anybody and everybody can upload to their servers or whatever you want to call it. And a lot of fucking bad people were uploading a lot of bad videos. And they're like people who were just straight up being raped, or girls who were kidnapped and sex slaves and torture and all this shit. That's like, I mean, how do you police that? Because, you know, there are weird videos where it's like, I don't know, that could have been consensual, but I don't know, but it's up there, so
Yeah.
it's up there, you know?
It's
you know,
like,
it's
on,
not
like the start of a kink video where it's like you have to have the interview with them being
Right.
like, I know the
Here's the
passwords.
safe words.
Yeah,
Here,
the
I
safe
agree
words.
to it. They do the post interview where it's like they're a mess, but they're like, I loved it.
Yeah.
You know, if you don't have that professional video, and it's just like, well, I don't know, that girl could have enjoyed it, or she could have been like actually, you know.
Right.
So like horrible shit. And so Pornhub, I mean, I guess maybe you can't tip your cap too much because they were the ones like doing it all these years, but they're addressing the issue. And like now it's like you can only upload your porn. If you're like a certified, verified member or whatever, you make a video, you put it up, but you can't put up other people's videos. So that is a great thing.
It's
No doubt.
honestly, I'm coming around on this as a whole because I think what this means is that all PMVs are gone now.
That's good.
That's great.
Yeah, I hate
because
those
no
things.
one
Who wants
on
to
the
watch porn
planet
with like like a hard guitar riff?
like, oh, do you want to listen to music? Like, no,
No,
I want to watch a fucking.
I want to
butt
hear.
gape.
I want to hear the ball slap on her asshole. I want to hear the thwop. I want that thwop. Okay. I want to hear the gaping, like weird noises. I don't know. I want to hear bubbling and gargling.
If I was gonna fucking like, if I wanted to listen to music, I'd watch TRL.
Yeah.
I'm on Pornhub.com.
I want to hear.
Get
wah,
the PMV
wah,
out of here.
wah.
Fuck a PMV.
So there's some silver linings, but also
I'm gonna see.
you
like,
have to understand, John. For the most part, I believe. Well, you're just a thumbnail hoverer these days.
Yeah.
But for the most part, you're just a front page guy, right?
Yes, very much so.
So you have to understand that, like, I would imagine 99% of the time when you're watching somebody's video, it's very rarely like from their page, you know, from their
Very,
like,
very rarely.
you know.
I'm trying to.
So
I'm just like googling.
when
like,
I you know, thankfully Heather Brooke now has her own page. She came back. She did her. I mean, which by the way, total flop. You know, like way
Has she
to
even done-
drop the ball.
has
Like,
she done another video?
She does like chatter based.
I was gonna say, like, I haven't even heard of anything. This is crazy. I'm like, I just Google. Oh wait, what? Look at, we found one.
Found a porn music video.
No, just one that like isn't uploaded by like a real person. This is uploaded by Horny Boy. I just googled Adriana Chechik, and
So that's
like they're
I mean,
all like
maybe,
blue check marks.
but
except
that guy's
for
not
that one.
interesting. Maybe that
Look at-
maybe
look
it's
at all
maybe
blue
he's not
check
like
mark, blue
deleted
check
yet.
mark.
You know. Maybe,
Oh, another one. Oh, whoops! I just opened the porn.
maybe they're still in the process. Maybe it's still going. But at least the theory behind it is that, like, you know, if you want to watch the Adriana Chechik video, it's going to be from Adriana Chechik or Vivid Videos or whatever the fuck
Right.
she works for.
Jules Jordan.
So,
She's a lot of work for them.
but like, you know, if I wanted to watch Heather Brooke, had she not come back and re-uploaded, like she uploaded all her old videos to her own channel, those are all from other people because she was like out of the game.
Right.
You know,
Oh,
so
I
like,
didn't even think about that.
like Jenna Jameson, I don't know, like classic people, if you want to see that. And then I mean, I had to pour one out. I just went ahead and Googled Tory Black College Fuckfest classic, and it says video has been flagged for verification in accordance with our trust and safety policy. Video has been disabled 9 years ago. 4.5 million videos, million views, and that was when Tory Black was like an amateur, and I remember being like, "Who the fuck is this girl?" She's like the
Weapon.
hottest girl I've
Yeah,
ever
she's
seen,
just
and she's just
weapon.
banging that frat boy who was also a weapon. That guy could throw dick, and like poof, things like that are just gone. This reminds me a lot. This is the porn version of when Napster disappeared and Kazaa and all those, and you used to have those like awesome blends and remixes.
Yeah.
Like just like early December, I think, or late November, I think. Wiz Khalifa put out the Empire of the Sun, the Thrill remix. That was not available on streaming for like the last 10 years, but it was available on like the download files on like Hype Floats and the streaming back in the day, because that was just like somebody blended it together. So if it wasn't an official song, you can't get it anymore. That's kind of like porn now. At least on Pornhub. I mean, X videos are probably still the Wild West. You go to these other places, but they're also going to have to follow suit. It's going to be dominoes. They can't be like, well, we'll put up the torture videos, you know? So, I mean, this is the great.
X videos is trending right now.
Yeah, I'm sure people are
Because
jumping
they're like,
over.
"Well,
They're
we're doing
like
X
getting a
videos."
bump.
Like, why?
This is like WCW and WWF in a way, you know?
It is.
It's like we're going corporate. Like, go to ECW, you can still see razor blades in the fucking face. But, I mean, this is probably, as the dominoes start to fall or as things really shape up, this is probably like the great regulation of pornography, like where I feel like the internet and porn is like it used to be the Wild West, and now it's at least a lot less so, you know?
It is.
Which, again, for the greater good, awesome,
very good thing.
but for the, you know, the real beaters of the game, you know?
Because it is one of those things like, can't you just get rid of the torture videos?
So,
like,
this is what
can't you just get rid of the rape? Like,
I'm gonna pitch you.
Can I watch professional porn stars still have sex?
Can I woo you to a new job?
Sure.
Me and Za, and you know, because Za is like, I mean, Za has more experience in the porn industry, you know, literally than any of us. So I was talking about it on CCK, and we started up the Real Beaters Brotherhood, the RBB. Me, Za, the Rocket. The Rocket says he can hang. I don't know. I mean, you know, I need like 2018 YP. Me, you, Za, Trill Withers. You know, the Real Beaters.
Yeah.
I just want a porn website, and we'll be like the verifiers. You can upload your porn, and we will watch it. And it can be things like Tory Black at the fuck party, or you know, some of your classics. And we'll just make sure that no one's getting like raped and murdered too.
I think.
And then we will have.
But what if we find one?
We say no.
Yeah, but I wouldn't want to be
There's
like
a lot on your plate.
I wouldn't be like, all right, play the next one.
Yeah, right,
Like,
right. That'd be tough.
That would be.
That's probably what
once
happened
I
to Pornhub.
overturn that call, I'm like, I need a vacation.
That's probably what happened to Pornhub. They probably used to do that, and they're like, I can't see any more of this.
Yeah,
I'm done.
I'm like,
they're like,
tired
just
of
let it up. Just put it up.
looking at murder.
Well, you know, maybe we'll have to, you know, hire other real beaters. You have to pass the test, and you'll know if you've got good taste. And then you can come to, you know, realbeaters.com, where we have the nicest array and collection. Yeah.
Yeah. I
Where it's like
that.
you're gonna get some OG shit, some safe stuff, some really kinky shit, with no fucking porn music videos. None of that shit, and none of the fake stuff.
No porn music videos.
No porn music videos, and no
Fuck
fake dicks with the fake
porn
cum.
music. Well, sometimes.
All right, I can do the fake cum. I hate the clown penis.
The clown
where
penis.
it sticks out of
And
the
like-
fucking side of the TV, so you know that if you can have a fake dick that looks like it's like attached to your body, then let's go.
I mean, I don't regularly look at those, but I just know, like, I know I've seen it before and gone, you know what? Not
Real
so bad.
beaters already exist. It's for sneakers. Fuck.
Real beater, we'll buy them.
Yeah, we'll buy them out. Come on, look at that top banner. They're trash.
I mean, yeah,
We can buy
this is a
them.
garbage website.
Or you know what? Like we can still do the sneakers. Like sneakers and porn. Realbeaters.com. Come for all your thoughts. All right, so top 5 in honor of the Pornhub purge today, the Great Revolution, the schism. Pornhub is the number one way to get your porn these days. So we're gonna do the top 5 other ways, non-Pornhub related, to get your porn. I'm gonna lead off.
Yes.
I will go. You know, it's my favorite, my good old-fashioned box of porn in the woods. The box of porn in the woods. We've done this bit many times before. You either grow up a box of porn in the woods guy, or it sounds completely foreign to you and you have no idea what's going on. But most of us, in what is a weird sociological experiment where it's like, oh, you do that too? Oh, I do that too? And there was no communication of it. It's like the little man jumping when you're walking on that.
You always say this, and maybe I'm the weird one, because I've never heard of this until I met you.
Are you talking about on like the wires? or like the little man.
yeah.
No.
Yeah. That he knows.
That
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But
the box of porn in the
you're
woods.
one of the guys who don't have the box of porn. And then when if you are a box of porn in the woods guy, it's like, what are you talking about? You didn't have the box of porn?
Yeah.
Like it's all or nothing. And the people who do have it, it's like I don't know how you had it and how I had it. We're from different states, different times, different places. But I mean, I feel bad for you because I feel like it was happening and you just didn't know it. That probably means you're lame. It probably means you didn't get like the like you didn't get the invite.
No.
It's like we can't bring that little bitch boy John. He's gonna.
I would have.
You didn't even have pubes, bro. You didn't even have pubes. They'd probably be like, "Nah, John will fucking snitch and tell the people." I know the exact guys who like him and he had an older brother. My buddy and he had an older brother who like let me in the club and like we rode our bikes there and I was like, wow. And I mean, it's terrible. It's a box of it's in the elements. It's like magazines that are like old and fucking rotted and whatever though.
Bro,
Born in the woods.
when I was at hockey camp once, we shared a porn magazine. But you want to talk about old and rotted? There was a picture in this magazine where it was a girl with her legs spread wide open.
Sounds good so far.
And there was a target on her vagina. You couldn't see her vagina. There was just a target.
Like for you to come?
Yes. And it was like, try to come here. And everyone tried to come on it.
Did you?
I did not personally.
But like your friends did?
But like that page was like,
oh my god.
You knew like that page was like stuck.
I already regret this top
It was like he's stuck together because obviously, again, everyone was coming on it.
You're up.
Rotten.com.
Wow. yeah. It's like it's not even porn, but it's porn, you know? Yeah.
I just refuse to let an opportunity to reference Rotten.com pass me by.
Yeah.
And again, I always talk about two of the most horrifying things I've ever seen in my life were on Rotten.com. One was two construction workers who were in their helmets, which was odd. Two construction workers in their helmets, naked, with a literal chain tied to both their dicks, having a tug of war. And then the other one, which I mean, I can't possibly have been real, was Mother Teresa's autopsy. Just,
I think that's real.
it was just on that website.
I feel like that is real. I don't know if that one's real, but I feel like that is out there. I feel like you can see that.
You could, but like you could see anyone's autopsy on that website.
Yeah.
It was just
great.
all.
I would
autopsies.
love to make it to Rotten.com one day, you know? I'd love to be like worthy of Rotten.com. Like die in such a gruesome manner or a controversial way or something like that.
Oh,
you know?
I wasn't thinking you were gonna be dead for this.
Oh, I'm gonna be alive.
Yeah, like
I'd rather make
I was like, all right,
Rotten.com
Kevin, like,
as
shove
dead.
that water
I
bottle
was
up
gonna
your
say
ass.
I'd rather make it as dead than alive because alive, you know, I've really stooped. Forget about Cameo, shit. Well, in the same vein, then I'm gonna go with E-fucked.
oh,
The guy, the double dick.
yeah,
The double dick.
I don't
which
know if I've seen the double dick. I've seen the double
Oh,
vagina.
really?
I don't know. if
Oh,
I've
the
seen
double dick. If I say double dick to you, how do you picture the double dick?
Top to bottom.
Yeah. Yeah, I wonder. I did too, but I wonder if there's anybody out there who thought like the double
Side
dick
to
would be
side.
side to side, and they saw the top to the bottom, and they were like, "Whoa!" But I just remember thinking like, if you could DP a chick by yourself, that's pretty fucking
Pretty
cool.
sick.
Pretty fucking cool. I don't think it's even remotely real. I think there is a guy with two dicks, but I think it's like more like Siamese twins,
Yeah.
where it's like split.
Split,
This guy
yes.
had a double decker dicker, where he could just like put it in at the same time, and that one stuck with me. I can picture the efucked.com watermark and the double dicks, and yeah.
MILFHunter.com.
Fuck. See, I was gonna go with. I let myself get persuaded for the sake of, you know, segues and continuity. Rotten, fucked, but MILF Hunter was gonna be my number 2.
Was it really?
Yes, I love
Dude,
MILF Hunter.
MILF Hunter. There was
Still
one.
to this day. Open the gate. He did this windmill thing where he smacked a girl in the ass and he'd go, "Open the gate, pow! Open the gate, pow!" And me and my friends in freshman year would just run around going, "Open the gate!" across the bar. "Open the gate!" And nobody even knows what it meant. We're just talking about, yeah, that's the old guy down in Florida who fucks these hoes, man.
Dude, I saw the one of him in. He picks up a girl at the market,
Yeah, he does.
and I like for some reason vividly remember that being like one of the best porns ever.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a big MILF Hunter guy.
One time in like 2009 or 10, I found him on Facebook, and I was Facebook messaging with him and trying to like reel him in a little bit. I didn't have a podcast at the time. I didn't have like any way to do it, but I was like,
Just one of the
I'm gonna
bro
try to
friends?
like interview him. Like you could read the transcript or something.
yeah.
But I remember thinking like, this is gonna be like the biggest get ever. Like how far we've come. And we're talking to fucking Bryan Cranston. But there was a time where I was like, his name was Sean. I was like, Sean the MILF Hunter. I'm gonna get this guy.
Also,
and by the
though,
way,
like-
as good as MILF Hunter 1 is, MILF Hunter 2 and 3, like the other guys who came along,
I mean,
it's like it's like Bob Barker and Drew Carey. Not
if
even
you're not the
fucking-
guy, you're not the guy.
Yeah,
Like,
like that should have just died.
Yeah,
Like, you
yeah.
could make another one called, like MILF fucking.
I have
was
sex
gonna
with
say, I
moms.
was gonna say stalker, but that sounds pretty fucking dark, the MILF stalker. Okay. I will go with. There was a website called pinkworld.com. It was the most bootleg website ever. Actually, Nick, can you pull it up and see if it still even exists and if it's the same format for me? It was just a pink page with blue hyperlinks. Yep, there it is. Yes. What a piece of shit. What a garbage website.
They treat
And-
that like Apple treats their podcast.
Yeah,
It's
just like,
we're-
whatever,
we're
dude.
still just leaving it
And I don't know
alone.
why. I think my buddy actually found this. And we used to play a game almost called like Pink World. It was like roulette because it was just like links. And it was like sometimes it might be rotten. Sometimes it might be, Jenna Jameson at
Right.
the time. And so you would like put your mouse over like the and then we're talking about old school mouse with like the little
Yeah.
ball so you put your mouse like in the column and you would just have to like 1, 2, 3 scroll and click. And it could be like a guy getting his head chopped off, or it could be like Jenna Jameson. And it was a fun fucking game.
That sounds. Let's play that real quick.
Yeah, you want to do that? Put your mouse there and just scroll and see what you come up with. I mean, it's everyday links too. Like they've been doing this. Someone's been uploading these links for like 30 years.
This is like sports encyclopedia.
Yeah,
Before it got to redo.
yes. Frank Fleming might run this page for all we know.
All right.
Not bad, Nick.
nice
Paige
one
Owens
there.
gets skull fucked and destroyed from Fap NATO. Boy, is his hand all the way inside her. So that would have been regarded as like a successful roulette,
that was a success. Give me one more. Yeah.
Sure, Joe Madison, big breasts and leather pants. That would have been regarded as like, well, at least I didn't see somebody die. I can't like get off to that one, but hey,
But
I'll tell
it's
you what, the Pink World Roulette, I could see a lot of stoolies out there like having some fun with this one.
This is all right. Let's move on because I'm just gonna be like,
Yeah, I'm
all right,
bothered.
Like let's just watch porn. Okay.
Hey, new podcast segment. We just watch porn.
We have a precedent for that. We did it 2 weeks ago.
It's true. So this is my number 3.
Yeah,
Freeones.com.
that might even predate Pink World.
Free Ones was.
I think that's like everybody's first,
Dude,
right?
Free Ones was without a doubt the first. It's where I learned of Heather Brooke. It's where I found everything I know now. But the weirdest thing that happened, so there was always like one clip of the day. Like, they would have like a little section that was like the blank clip of the day. And it was like all like popular videos. Like it would be like the anal clip of the day, the ebony clip of the day, the blah blah blah. And in all regular things, like the DP clip of the day, the blowjob clip of the day.
Yeah.
And then just randomly in there was the balloon play clip of the day. And it was where I learned that like balloons are a real fetish. And it was just girls like popping balloons on themselves. I watched it. I checked it out just to be like, what's this all about?
That creeps me out.
And it was like, you know what? They also might have had the cast clip of the day in there. They were all very normal,
Like
like
cast,
porn
like a
clip,
broken
cast,
arm?
Yeah, they were all like really normal, regular porn things, and then it was balloons and casts, I believe, which is
Balloons and
like
that's great.
just like right in the middle of again like. It's like, okay, blowjob, okay, anal, okay, like it's just things you understand, things that are our categories of porn, and then blowjob and cast.
Funny. I am looking at my favorite here. See, this is one that's like gone now. I just tried to go to it. It doesn't exist. And if you search it on Pornhub, like this is old school. I found an article about it from 2003. Did you ever watch ComeOnDagny.com?
No, I don't think so.
Let me show you this like chick, if you even like recognize her. Do you know her? No. So this was the OG. This predates.
She's attractive. I'd like to get to know her.
You know what she is? She's like, I mean, you know, she's like a real life like wife. You know,
she's not as attractive in that picture.
No.
But I know that first picture you showed me. Yes.
But see that it's almost like very similar. It was exactly like Naughty Alley and ID Throw. And this dude, his name was Jeff. They might be like the original couple that I like knew.
By the way, really like.
I'm a couple guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a couple guy. His dick was not big. What are you looking at, Nick?
I'm trying to bring up the
Like
site for you.
Oh, okay. And this dude put Peter North to shame.
Oh, really?
He was just like, pop, 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 pop. He was like a machine gun. Just and I remember just thinking like, and at that age, I was probably like, 15 or whatever, and I'm just like, oh, my dick doesn't do that. Like I don't come like that at all. Yeah. That's exactly what it looked like. It was one of those good old like 18 to enter. You click enter.
Come on, Dad. Oh my God.
And then it would
every way those words are spelled is trashy. Like CUMONDAGNY.
Please work, because it had the very old school classic. See, it's not gonna work. It had. Do you remember websites that were set up like this? It was like 3. It was like square, 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 and it would be like click
Free DVD.
this. Yes. and you like those 3. You could click on those 3, and those were like 50-second clips like each. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it would buffer like a
They
motherfucker.
like open in a quick time.
Yes. And then I think you had to pay to get like the full thing or whatever. But it was like I just would just survive on 60-second or 30-second clips from this like pretty average, very mediocre married couple. Like I should have known. I was like fucking 15. I was like, why don't you just watch Brianna versus Jenna, dude? Yeah. Like the really, really hot porn stars of the day. And I was like, give me the mediocre married couple. Oh, fuck, man.
I'm gonna go. I gotta go. LimeWire and Kazaa.
Yeah,
dude. I used to rip a lot of Tara Patrick. I would download
the queen of that.
I would download a
queen.
lot of
Shout out
Tara
to- shout
Patrick
out,
on
yeah.
Kazaa and LimeWire.
She
There's one of her rubbing ice on her nipples and stuff.
Absolutely there was.
Yep.
Absolutely there was.
Okay, yeah,
I think
that's
she
the
was
one.
I think she was called something like the #1 girl of the internet, specifically. Like she had she was like the queen of like internet porn, not like movie like studio porn.
Right,
it was
right,
like
right.
I dominate the internet. And I think she was like the first one to like really she was sexy
She's
as fuck.
sexy as shit.
Yeah, where is she now?
This
Where
segment
is
is
she
getting
now?
me horny. I just want to.
I'm almost erect, folks.
Guy, I'm excited for the podcast to end so I can go home.
I'm gonna throw it back like one more time. I think more general with it, like a father or brother stash, like finding a stash in your house.
I never had such a thing happen. to
My
me.
dad has I think it's gone now. I don't even know if I should tell it. Whatever. He had like a 1940 classic car, like a 1940 Chevy. That was in like our garage. We brought it everywhere we've ever moved. It was his first car ever. He called it Pearl. It's a black car. He bought it for $500 back in like 1956 or whatever. It's a 1940 Chevy, and in the trunk was fucking old schoul porn.
Really?
I was like, shout out Pops. Yeah. Thanks for the porn, dude. Thanks for the porn, man. It's like
What's old school porn like?
probably like it was like Playboys from probably like the 60s and 70s.
But like I mean, like, how does it work? Like, it's not as good as new porn,
No,
right?
no,
Like, they're not doing the stuff we like to see.
No. I mean, it was just like I think girls just like posing topless, like maybe some hairy vaginas. I think
I like both those things.
I've always said I think Farrah Fawcett is the missing link. I think Farrah Fawcett's when girls started getting hot.
Farrah Fawcett. I obviously know the name. I don't know if I can picture her.
She's like a hot blonde who like was because how everyone back like 40 years ago is just like not that hot. They're hot, but like they're just not that like sexy, if you will.
Yeah.
And I think Farrah Fawcett was the one who like just started to get like exotic, sexy, hot to me. Oh, maybe
She's
not
on
though. When I'm
screen.
looking at her here because
Like
that's not my. No, but I think like there's some pictures here like where
she can.
she's a weapon. She
Yeah.
started to get like okay, girls are getting hot. But I want to know who is like the porn, who bridged the gap. You know, who was like,
I think it was
Okay.
Jared Jameson.
you think so? I feel like that's like later in the game, but maybe not. Because she used to be like, I only do girls and all that shit. Remember?
Yeah.
So maybe it is her, but like the early porn stars, it was like, we're going to be naked on camera, and that was enough. And then there was people who were like, you can put 2 dicks in my ass at once. Like, how do we get from point A to point B?
That's
you know what I
true.
mean? Like, somebody had to like take the game and accelerate it like a motherfucker. You know?
I mean, I do think that was still Jenna though.
Yeah, might have been. I
She did
Jenna was
very
just
little butt
so,
stuff.
Very little.
Very
and a lot of condoms.
Yeah, I
She
mean,
was
the condom.
very hot though for her time.
Yeah.
Like the it was like Pamela Anderson like
Jen
was
Jameson.
doing porn. You know what I
Right,
mean? Like
right.
if you got to see her fuck. That was she's a legend. Now she looks like a totem pole. It's very sad what happened to her. Just
What's
that's-
a totem pole?
you know what a totem pole is?
Yeah,
Like the faces on totem poles. She just looks like
Oh.
that. Just like it's like
a lot of work.
it's just trying to hold on to it.
That's unfortunate.
Last one.
Last one for me is going to be. Oh, I mean, you gotta get it to ID throw.
You got
Right?
it. You gotta.
You
Yeah,
gotta.
you gotta.
I mean, like, Be
you
crazy
gotta.
not to have her on the list.
Have to.
iDeepthroat.com. Heather Harmon.
You know what is one that I wanted to give? Maybe it's my honorable mention, but maybe not because I don't know if it's like it just feels not right saying it. But the most ridiculous website I think I've ever like typed in to go watch intentionally, blacksonblondes.com. Have you ever watched that?
I definitely
give you one
seen-
guess what's
I don't think
happening
I've
in
been to the website.
It's a little on the nose, but it was just like, you know, bleach blonde chicks just getting destroyed by black guys. And I was just like, this feels inherently racist. Like
Well,
we're just laying it out there with the name and everything,
dude,
you
do
know?
you know who Spring Thomas is?
Spring Thomas, I do not.
She's a blonde girl
Uh-huh.
who would only fuck black guys
Mm.
and like would like call them the N-word. And I believe there is one film where she is wearing a Confederate flag,
Oh, Jesus Christ.
either shirt or there's a Confederate flag hanging in the room. It is like she would like call them the N-word. Like it was really
tough.
offensive stuff.
Yeah, really. Well, there's Annette Schwartz is another one. She's a German chick.
Yeah.
Schwartz means black in German.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I did know that, unfortunately. And then she does the same thing. She drops some language that she shouldn't. And it's like,
Really?
yeah, it's like, oh man.
See, like Spring Thomas was at least like I was in like middle school watching.
I
it.
googled Spring
Like,
Thomas
back when
Confederate.
back when white
When that
people
was
could say
allowed.
the N-word.
That was back when we were all doing it. Spring Thomas Confederate brings up pictures of like, you know, like generals from the Revolution, from the Civil
really?
War. But is that? I'm assuming that's her.
That is
Yeah,
definitely her.
that's
yeah.
definitely
Yeah.
her. Oh yeah. Oh, it's kind of coming around because she looks like, you know, she looks like someone who would do that. You know? She looks like a girl who would say those things.
Yeah.
So-
yeah, like she went to Alabama.
Exactly. Her daddy taught it to her. All right, so let us know your favorite ways to get porn outside of Pornhub, and let's keep your porn clean. And let us know if you want to be a part of realbeaters.com. Voicemails, and then we'll get into it with Sam Morril. Voicemails today are brought to you by Miller Lite. It's time to kick back with your boys and listen to your KFC radio friends. I feel like the people who listen to KFC radio, the people who hear voicemails, are almost like internet friends. You know,
I think
like
so.
like I almost feel like in a weird way, if we weren't so like socially awkward and like social misfits, I feel like we could do like a get together where like people from voicemails like hang out with each other almost like a weird like a porn convention almost where it's like, oh, I was the guy from like 2012 who left that voicemail, like, oh, I was in like spring of 2017. Everybody would get along. We're all good internet friends at this point, who I think a lot of times are better friends than your real friends. So get some Miller Lights, kick back and enjoy it with us right now. We're about to talk to all of our listeners. We're about to share some stories. We're about to tell some tales. We're about to ask some questions, give some answers. And what better way to do that than with some ice cold Miller Lights? You can get them delivered right to your door right now when you go to MillerLite.com/KFC. Just do me a favor, hit up that website. Let them know that you're looking at them. Let them know that you're thinking about how to get it delivered right to your door so you can do a holiday party from home. You can celebrate Christmas from home. You don't have to go out. No longer able to go to the bars, indoor, outdoor dining, whatever the situation may be. You can still always get your Miller Lite. Go to MillerLite.com/KFC. Always celebrate responsibly from the Miller Brewing Company in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. 96 calories and 3.2 carbs per 12 ounces. Tis Miller time. Tis the season. MillerLite.com/KFC.
Hey, KFC. Hey, Fights. I have a question for you guys. I'm excited to hear your answers. I saw Fights tweeting about Folklore and the new short movie that Taylor Swift just put out the other week, talking about how awesome it was, and my wife and I agreed, loved it. I thought what made it so great was how short it was, but she gave little stories, little backgrounds, tidbits we'd never heard, confirmed a few things, talked about the process. So I was wondering if you guys could choose one band or one other artist to have a similar film. You know, there have been band documentaries and things like that, but I thought this was very different. So I'm wondering if you could choose someone else to put out this kind of film, get a little background, see them play it live, kind of get in that moment. So just, curious to hear your thoughts, what direction you would go. Thanks.
I haven't seen this, so I'm imagining it's just, like a full behind the scenes access of how the album comes to be and all that shit.
No, not so much actually.
Oh.
Yes, it's like I wouldn't say full behind the scenes. It's like she's sitting there talking, probably like let's say it's 3 to 5 minutes before every song. She kind of explains a bit of the song, but it's not a behind the scenes thing at all.
Okay.
And
then she performs.
And then and her, Adam, and
kind of reminds
Jack.
me of MTV Unplugged.
Yes, very unplugged.
Okay.
Which, by the way, an album I bought the other day, Alanis Morissette Unplugged. Yeah.
Jay-Z Unplugged is maybe my favorite thing ever. So this would probably be my answer, and just have Jay-Z do it with all the songs that have since come out. Because it's Jay-Z, it's the Roots playing all the music, and Jay-Z like doing it. And back then it was like rap really hadn't done like instruments, you know what I mean? Like Lil Wayne started to do it, other people like playing guitars, playing music other than the Roots. So him doing it with the Roots was like my two favorite things coming together. So he already kind of did it a little bit, but I think Jay-Z would probably be my answer. He's just Jay-Z's like LeBron, where it's like he doesn't get the respect, you know?
Yeah.
It's like he's just done it and he's had some, he's the only rapper, one of the only rappers who's lived long enough to have some flops and to have some misses. So people like hold that against him kind of. But I mean, his hits and the way he doesn't really write music and it's all kind of freestyled, and the commercial hits with the deep thinking hits and the old school, new school, underground, drug dealer, sellout, pop, Jay-Z, Beyonce. I mean, he's done it fucking all. It's insane. It's absolutely insane. So he'd probably be my choice.
Mine would be probably something like I don't even listen to that much, like at all, really. Like mine would be like someone like Ozzy. Like,
really?
I just want to see you. Like, I just want to hear about your insanity.
I guess, but I feel like if I don't have the connection to the music, I wouldn't care what happened, unless every story is awesome, which I guess Ozzy would have one of
Probably
those.
is,
Yeah,
right?
But to me,
my answer would be 1, Taylor Swift, and 2, like someone like that, which is like,
well, I guess even in our brief conversation with Tommy Lee, it's like give me more of that, dude.
Right?
Give me every story of every tour, every song, every moment.
all the fucking ants you snorted. Just to get a little high.
I want to I want to try to get to a point where
all the piss you drank.
Wouldn't it be great to? And I guess like Howard Stern kind of has this, where it's like, if you could ask the true questions that everybody really wants to know,
Yeah.
like you get to the point where you're respected enough where like you can do those interviews and ask those questions, and you got to do it with guys like Tommy Lee who have the answers and are willing to give it. But it's like the deep primal like in curiosity of people. It's like, yeah, I want to talk to Tommy about like his career and like the shit that we did. We're able to talk to him about, but we also want to talk about like the sex tape and his dick, and you like if you sat down with George Clooney, certainly there's a lot of highbrow stuff that's very interesting to talk about, but also like the deep, like I said, primal in us all. Be like, how many people have you fucked, George Clooney? Imagine if you could get those answers and get people to really be like, yeah, no, when you go on this show, you give the real answers. And it's
That's
like,
just you have to be famous.
But even that, like, I think Howard Stern would be the answer. Like, that's where people do it the most, if at all. But to really be able to like, when you come on this show, you're only going to exclusively get asked inappropriate questions. What's the highest number of people at one time?
Right.
What's the total number? What's the most you've ever drank? What's the hardest drug you've ever done? Have you ever killed a man? You know what I mean? Like the dark, like the questions that
have you ever killed a man?
The dirt that you really like share with your friends, like get that from celebrities if you could get there. Because like those, it's like, oh, this song, I wrote when I was like on the tour bus, like when I broke up with so-and-so. It's like, all right, cool. But it's also better if it's like, so this was right after like Ozzy fucking like ate some and like, you know, and this guy OD'd on heroin in the back. And like the stories would always be awesome from like a Black Sabbath or something. Next up.
KFC fights, what's going on? Question for you. I've been dating my girlfriend for about 6 months now. And it just so happens that both of our leases are up this
Don't
upcoming
do it.
May of 2021.
No!
And kind of sort of talked about moving in together. And at the very beginning, I agreed to it, and it sounded great. And as we get closer and closer to the date, and things are getting serious about actually moving in, I'm kind of getting cold feet and wondering if I made a mistake, because once you move in together, there's really no going back, and the next step after that is marriage and all that.
Yeah, you're fucked, dude. I mean, first of all, somebody just tweeted me, I hope somebody saves all 10 million of the videos from Pornhub and puts it on another website. That would be pretty funny. I saved all like 9 jillion terabytes of this, and you can just have the old school Pornhub. You remember I was just saying about Harry's, that $2 and $3 is $0? Mm-hmm. If you've been dating for 6 months, you've been dating for 0 months.
Yes,
that is
correct.
Nothing in the grand scheme. And I guess when you're like 17, if you've been dating for 6 months, that's like a serious relationship. But if you haven't done like a cycle, you haven't gone through the seasons, you don't even know what that bitch is like in the winter. You don't even know what she's like during the 4th of July. You know, you have not gone through anything with her. So that is like nothing. So don't ever, like, if you tell me like I had 6-month anniversary, like I'll chop your head off. Moving in with someone out of lease and financial ease, if you will, is the worst idea in the world. It is the worst idea in the world.
It's the worst idea in the world that everyone has.
And that
like
that,
literally, at least
and
in
you know what?
Manhattan,
And that like most people do. Like I say, don't do this, and you're gonna do it because when you're staring down the barrel of like, well, I could pay like $3,500 a month myself, or I could pay like 16 or something like that. You're just gonna do it, but you should.
Honestly, you know what? I'm flipping the script. It is not a bad idea.
No, it's a horrible idea.
It's so much money you saved.
It doesn't matter.
I mean, I came very close to doing this.
You can't put...
The only thing that stopped me from doing this was her. her
dumping me and making me cry over the beer
was the only thing that's like.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, I think we're gonna do for one thing I learned next time.
Yes.
Yes. So, but anyway, that like
the cartoon of like the beer spilling down your tears and the beer mixing together, unbelievable. Yeah, I know it, and it does seem like a good idea. When
like, even as you just like lay out those
staggering
numbers,
amount of money.
Like there's a lot of money,
but you cannot put it's a premium that you pay, and I understand. When you're happy too, you have to. It's almost like a JJO situation where it's like if you could transfer yourself into a fight, you know. It's like right now we're good and we're having sex and it's fun and we're not in a fight. So it sounds like a good idea. Answer that question in the middle of a fucking blowout. And if you can still honestly say it's a good idea, then okay. But being like, yeah, no, this is great. It's like that's the reason why you shouldn't. Tell me about it when it's hard. If you still want to live together, then maybe. But to just be like, I'll save some money and hey, things are going well, when you are trapped and miserable. Although, you know what the real answer is too, though? It's like, just do it and then like if things go wrong, just like break up with her and like, you know what I mean? Like we put such a pressure on like, well, I'll be locked into the lease and I don't want to like break up with her after we just moved in. It's like, well, you can just like pull the plug on things. You know what I mean? If you have like, you just have to have like the balls to do it. But if you're one of those people who's gonna like kind of follow the rules, if you will, where it's like, all right, well, we just moved in, so like I have to make it work or whatever, you could find yourself in a very long lease. In a very long year.
Like, imagine you move in together to save $1,500 a month.
Mm-hmm.
And then you just die with that person when you're 80 years old.
That's it.
All to save a couple of bucks. Again, it's a lot of money.
It is a lot of money, but it's also like it's not really when you're like that's like the other thing too in the big picture, and I hate to do this, but it's true. It's like when you don't have when you're not married, you don't have kids, you don't have a mortgage, you don't have bills, like you can afford to pay the extra money to live alone, right? You know, and if you need to come up with extra cash, like don't have $800 bills at the bar like 3 times a week. You know what I mean? Like those there's other ways to find money than living together with someone way too soon. Now, if it's like you've been dating like a year and a half, and it's like when you start to get like a little bit older and a little bit more serious, then you can start having conversations. But if you're like 23 or 4 and you've been dating for 6 months, like
I mean,
moving in together is
if
insane.
you're 20 anything,
you should not.
I would
Yeah.
recommend not.
I mean, I got a buddy who just recently like finally succumbed and moved in with his girl, but like they were, mid 30s, and it was like, I have my apartment, you have your apartment, and he just like stuck to his guns and like hasn't
like
proposed
that.
yet. And I used to kind of make fun of him and almost like not look down on him, but kind of be like, dude, come on, like, she's like a good girl. You should just do this. And then, I just did it, and like, look what happened. So I remember being like, yeah, like you stick to your fucking guns if you. And I guess that's the other thing too, is if you really want to do this, like, go ahead.
Yes.
But if you're already like,
if you're calling a stupid podcast and asking about it, it sounds like you don't want to do it.
if you're already like, I think this is a bad idea, but maybe it's a good. Nope.
No.
If you're like head over heels, or you really think it's a good idea, then it's like Ron White says. You ever see that stand up of his when he's like, if you can stand on your own 2 feet, like look me in the eyes and tell me to fuck off, then like I did my job.
Right,
You know,
right,
like
yeah.
don't go home with that girl like you're married or whatever. It's like, fuck off. Okay, done.
Yeah.
So if you can stand on your own 2 feet, clearly tell me, I know I'm moving in with this girl after only 6 months, and I'm doing it to save some money, and I think it's a little bit early, but I want to save that money. Fuck you. Then okay.
Deal.
Go.
Do your
But it's
thing.
probably gonna be a bad idea. Last one. What do we got?
Hey, what's up, KFC, Fights, Nick? Calling to see, just broke up with my girlfriend of about 4 years. How long is it long enough to keep pictures up on the Instagram? It was a pretty clean breakup, just moved far apart from each other. So what do you think? It's been about a month. Girls keep asking what my Instagram is. I keep on having to explain. So when do I do it? Thanks.
This might be like a new age thing, like a new age question, but I feel like you leave them up. No, you take them down.
I was gonna say never take them down.
Yeah.
Like
I
don't have a
deleted-
ton of pictures of exes, but like there are definitely pictures on my Instagram of like ex-girlfriends.
Yeah,
And,
I think
on my current girlfriend, she definitely has pictures of her ex-boyfriend. Like,
Yeah,
I think it's weird.
it's weirder to delete it where it's like
I do too.
It's like, are you don't like you're deleting your history. It's like,
Right.
what happened that you feel the need to like eradicate this from your,
like
it's you dated
it's,
someone,
it's
you
weirdly like it's almost like I feel like no one ever wants to do that, and it's just like you're being unnecessarily dramatic. Like,
yeah,
just,
yeah. Well, I remember,
yes,
I mean,
that was a time of you. Yeah, boy. Very much reminds me of Evermore. It is a lot of the songs on Taylor Swift's album are about like not about breakups, but just like the few that are about breakups are hopeful breakups. Where it's just like, look, that was a time in my life.
It's an experience
And
that
it
you had,
didn't work
yeah.
out well, but like that's cool.
Yeah.
Like it's okay.
one of my biggest regrets is when I was going through the divorce, like things were getting messy and very like throwing shots at each other, and like Instagram was a big fucking point of contention, and like everything I did was wrong, and I think I in the moment was like you don't really want to do this, but I felt like I had to basically, and I think I saved the pictures elsewhere, but I deleted like all of them, and I like totally
All the
regret that.
pictures of
It was like me and her, and
Okay.
like and it's like one of my biggest regrets because it was like now times are better, and it's like, oh, that sucks. But it was, I mean, I didn't do that out of that was like a legal thing. That was like that was messy, and I felt like I had to. If it was just like a breakup, I'd be like, I'm leaving those up.
right.
You know?
Like yeah. Like
I guess it is a little. I don't know. It's a little weird for the next person. It can be weird. I guess
I don't
know.
think it's
What-
weird at all. Like
if
it's weird for me to pretend that I've never
if
been in a
you-
relationship before.
If you
Like,
were with
I'm a-
another girl and she, like head over heels, everything's perfect, and she was just like, it just really makes me uncomfortable. Like, can you delete them? Would you do it?
I mean, I guess I would, because again, I also don't have many. I would guess you have to scroll like probably to
Way
the end
back,
of my
yeah.
Instagram, and like there might be 2 or 3 pictures there.
Well, that's another. They're all such silly things, but I do think that's why it's like you probably should only post people who like. The rule should almost be like, what's your for 10 minutes, 10 months, 10 years sort of thing.
Yeah.
It's like if in like 10 years you can look back and be like, I'm happy that person's on my Instagram, then like, good, you posted that picture. But if you're like one of these like willy-nilly posting everybody,
I think you're overthinking it.
probably.
I think
but
people
I
are,
do
like-
think that social media sometimes can be. I think you can use it kind of like whimsically, or you can use it like more seriously. It kind of depends on
Yeah.
like, and that's what sucks is sometimes like I want to post a picture, and other times it's like this is like who I am. This is like my resume, if you will. Where if like you are a serial dater and you like post pictures quickly,
I'm
it's
not
like,
that. Like I've had few girlfriends in my life.
So yeah, anybody
So,
that you
like-
would have posted is kind of like was worth it almost.
Yeah, it was like someone
But
I
if
spent
you're
a lot of time with.
If you're someone you like swing tree to tree and you go from like one relation to another, they overlap and you're, it's just like constantly people. I could see it being weird. I don't know.
Yeah, if you
Or
are,
if I don't know, like if your ex is just like, what if you just date a fucking dime, just a fucking rocket, and the new girl or guy is like, man, like every time I look at your Instagram, it's just you and like a supermodel. Can you just like get rid of those? I don't know. I'd be like, all right, I get it. All right, whatever.
I get it. Guess what? I only date rockets.
Yeah,
dude.
that's
all
that's-
we fucking do, kid.
Maryland, crab cakes and football. All right, Sam Morril time. Funniest fucking joke teller in the game. It's brought to you by The Zebra. Americans are overpaying on car insurance by $21 billion.
That's so many dollars.
21 billion. But searching for a better deal, most people think it can take hours and that the results, you end up on like all these calling lists and spam emails and all these things. It's not worth it. Not anymore, thanks to The Zebra. They will help you save money. They will do it in an easy fashion. They will do it with no spam. They won't sell your information, and it only takes a few minutes. It's basically like Kayak or the Priceline Negotiator or any of those other websites that just compile all of the packages for you. So you can get...
Fun fact, I used to cut the guy who founded Kayak's lawn.
Was he rich? Was it a huge ass lawn?
Yeah, no, it took me all day.
Yeah. How much he pay you?
I mean, it was like I worked for a landscaping company.
Got it.
It wasn't like me. It was like my job when I was like 18. I like one summer in college or 19, whatever age I was.
Well, this can do it in 90 seconds or less, and will provide you side-by-side quotes from over 100 providers for the best car insurance for you. So you can save up to $670 a year using thezebra.com. That's thezebra, TheZebra.com/KFC, and you can save on your car, your home insurance, all bundled together today in less than 90 seconds. That's thezebra.com/KFC. Sam Morril, what's up, babe?
You're punctual as shit. I think
that was
second
one
it
on
went
the
to
dot.
Were you just sitting here?
I was on the phone with my buddy Joe Mackey, and then I was like, "Oh shit, I gotta run!"
Right on time, 1 o'clock on the.
I do
dot.
that every time we have to do like a Zoom where if we're not in the office, I just sit there waiting for it to click because I don't want to be a loser who's in there before. Like I don't want to be awkward. It's very it's way more awkward than an actual interview or an actual meeting. I'm like,
It's weird, right? Because online is not like same as showing up to a party where you're just like, if you show up on the dot, you're like, you fucking loser.
Right.
But like, but with online, you're like, I'm. What else am I doing?
Right,
Like,
let's
am I
get
gonna
it
lie to
going.
you guys?
Yeah. I was busy. No, you fucking weren't. You weren't doing anything. I watched the new special last night. It is. I mean, your jokes are always fucking, incredible. I think you're probably the best joke writer and teller in the game right now. But the production of it was so cool. It was so unique. I mean, especially for obviously what's going on. I've found that some people are like, we've talked to every comedian about like whether they want to do outdoors, whether they're willing to do drive-ins, are they willing to do the park, whatever. You made it look fucking awesome, like rooftops with drones and everything. So I didn't even think of it as like, oh, he had to do it this way. It was like, this is a cool idea, even if there was no pandemic.
It was pretty fun, Well, the drones. What happened was I did a show in Brooklyn originally. It's beginning of. I just got back to New York City. I show up at this gig and like everything is going wrong at the gig, like every gig. So I get to the gig and I'm like, okay, it's Bleecker Street. I'm texting the guy. I can't find the address. He goes, no, Bleecker in Brooklyn. And I was like, all right, but I'm like, it's a pretty iconic Manhattan street. So
yeah.
you should that heads up. So then I'm like, all right, give me 30 minutes. So I show up 30 minutes. He goes, oh, we're not on the roof anymore. We're in a woman's backyard because some teens, like they threw a party. I'm like, every show's a turf war now. So I'm like, all right. So then I show up to the backyard. The woman's like, you can't come in. I was like, why not? So she's being awful to me. And then I had to like, I was like, well, I got to use the bathroom. She goes, no. So I just had to go back up to the roof and like pee in the corner from team's party. Then I go back downstairs and she's like, all right, fine. He can go on. I'm like, I bet like a $50 on a cab to get here for a free spot, So then I go on. She's heckling me the whole show. And I was like bombing. So I was kind of hoping for a disruption,
Yeah.
She heckles me. I start hammering her. And to the point, it's like, it's turning the show around. she comes on stage and grabs the mic from me and she goes, "Get the fuck out of here." And my mom saw the clip. I posted that clip. My mom was like, "She could have given you COVID." And I'm like, I mean, let's. I was just happy to be on stage for it. And also people were like, "Why didn't you fight her for the mic?" And I was like, well, what am I going to like? It's her backyard.
Why didn't you beat the shit out of her? Why don't you punch her in the face?
Comedian literally destroys heckler.
Actually eviscerates.
No, but she like was like, "Get the fuck out of here." And it was like the one time my camera wasn't rolling. It only got like the last part. So I was like, man, the ugliness of this pandemic is kind of beautiful for comedy. Like, so that's why we kept shit going wrong in the special. We're like, the mic's going out. So I ended up I had a guy, Josh Fear, a young guy, just following me around, videotape me. And then I was like, I think we need more people. So we got the guy, Matt Salacuse, who ended up directing it. We got the guy, Dom, his friend, who just shows up with a drone camera. So I was like, this looks insane. Yeah. He's getting like drones flying around, getting neighbors like shutting their window because they don't want to watch my special. It's I kind of told them like, get the ugliness of this, because every special you see curtains and you see like everyone's done up and like they're in a suit and in a theater, and I'm like, we're on roofs and
not wearing shoes.
Yeah,
not wearing shoes. Like shit goes wrong every night, but it's kind of like, when are we going to experience this again? Let's embrace it.
Right,
you know?
man.
What I didn't get, how are you sending mass texts? Because I think at one point you're like, I can't blast 150 people right now. Are you just texting like friends, or is that an app you were using?
It was an app. It's called Community, and it's like basically you can give out a number that people text, and you can answer. It's just basically like DMs, but it gets their location, so it's kind of good for the road. We can just be like, "Hey, I'll be in this city." You can just blast a small group, like you put in a zip code or something. You know?
Oh, okay, that's pretty sick, actually.
It was great because that's how I was doing the gigs. Like some nights I would be like, "Oh, I need a roof" on Instagram, and people would be like, "I got a roof and a friends and a mic and an amp, and you're all set."
Sick.
But other nights people would be like, "I have a roof," and I'd be like, "All right, I'll get the people." You know what I mean? So
wow, I didn't realize it was like that. So it was not like a permitted event or you rent out a space. It was just kind of like, find a spot, pop some chairs up, and like fucking go. That's crazy.
Like rent a roof. That'd be the saddest. That's what comedy is right now. This is a roof renting website. No, I booked it. I booked it myself. All the things. Some of the gigs I had to be like, meet me at this roof. Sometimes we'd have to. There's a part where I say these aren't Hamilton tickets. You got to over invite because people will just bail. They're not like gonna just. They're like, oh yeah, I'm definitely going to the roof. So. I had to start charging people because I was like, that's the only way they'll definitely show up if I get money from them, because they'll have some investment. I can't just be like free roof and expect everyone to come. So, that was a thing. And every night there'd be a problem. There would literally be I'd be fighting with my director. He'd be like, the sun is setting, we have to start. And I'd be like, dude, there's 6 people here. I'm not taping a special.
Was there any concern about that? Like, I feel like some of those jokes were fucking so good that if it was in the right setting or in a theater, it would be like raucous. Is there any thought of like, oh man, I wish I had performed that in the perfect setting? Yeah.
I had a lot of those jokes before the pandemic, so I know what they sound like with walls and a ceiling. Yeah. So when you're doing it outdoors on a roof, and I mean, some of the roofs are good, some are not. So when you're bombing on a roof, I'm like, did I just do 40 minutes of jokes in 20 minutes? Like it just goes into nowhere.
Right.
So
I mean, there was a couple times you can always hear people laughing, but I'm like, that place should be like falling on the floor because of that joke. That was brilliant,
dude. It's tough. And also, a lot of the roofs I would just bomb. I mean, we did a lot of nights. Some shows, I mean, I did one, so an ex-girlfriend of mine works in an art gallery. We're still like, I mean, we're not like close, but we're friendly. And she saw me trying to get roofs, and she's like, I'll throw a roof for you with all my art friends. And I'm like, in my head, I'm like, oh, art people, they'll laugh. Mm-hmm. And then I get to the gig and they're like studying me like I'm a fucking painting or something. They're just like, I don't understand. And they're just, and I'm just bombing for like, I'm so angry. I'm in Chinatown just eating shit on a roof of a Chinese restaurant, just bombing. And there were nights like that where I just had to
find that hard to believe, man. Like because I mean, a couple, you even called it out a couple times where like you were like, this joke just keeps getting sadder and sadder. Where that you're pushing the envelope, and I could see some people being like, "Whoa, I don't think that's funny." But I feel like you're like I said, such a good joke writer. I find it hard to believe you're actually bombing.
Oh no, there's footage. There's some nights. There's one on this. I mean, we had to cut out entire nights because there's one in the Seaport where it's like just people. They were like my fans, and they just weren't laughing for some reason. I was just like, they would laugh,
guys.
They would laugh when I would like melt down. That's when I was like, oh, so it takes you breaking my spirit to elicit laughter. That's fun.
I was just gonna say, bombing on a roof has got to be dangerous because like bombing has you on the edge anyway, without literally being.
I could end this. I could get out of this situation real quick.
I'll never have to feel this ever again.
I mean, that would be.
You gonna bomb? You think I'm gonna bomb? Fuck you. You know, I'm putting this back on you. Imagine that. The crowd's like, well, we should have laughed.
If I were to jump off a roof, I'd rather do it on like a showcase show where some comics got to follow me. Where it's like, oh fuck, I guess I got to go back into material. That is the best where you just snap on a crowd. And then I was talking to a comic about that the other day. But sometimes you just lose it and then you try to go back into material and it doesn't work at all. Where you're just like, fuck you. I fucking hate all of you. I hope you get AIDS. Anyway, dating's weird. And it's pretty tough. But
I think
so the roofs were a lot of riffing, a lot of improvising because you have to on a roof. It's not a showroom. And some of them were just weird environments. I mean, as you mentioned, the No Shoes show, the cops came to that show. We had to cut the cops out because they weren't, we just were like, the cops are here, but we didn't get any footage of the cops. So it felt pretty lame. Like, what is this, Jaws? We're like, there's a shark somewhere. You know?
we swear they're over there. But yet again, I mean, once again, like up over 300,000 views on YouTube. I feel like you can pretty much rest assured, like a Sam Morril YouTube special is gonna fucking crush each and every time.
I hope
right?
people keep watching. I do have the fear that in 3 months, people are like, yeah, why am I gonna watch that? Like, I lived it. Why? It's like when that Nicolas Cage 9/11 movie came out. I'm like, yeah, I don't want to see that shit. I was here.
But no, you know what I mean? Like I said, it's. You know, let's say there was no pandemic, and I just heard like there's a new comedy special where this guy does it on rooftops all over New York City. I don't know. I would think, oh, that's a creative, like a different angle to do a special. I don't think it has to be, you know, pandemic related, really.
That's a funny. It's funny. My agent actually said to me, he goes, you know, pandemic or not, I think it was like time someone did a rooftop special, and I was like, no one's doing a rooftop special.
No, but
if you told me it's roofs. Yeah, I mean, like I'm great. Like I'm grateful for his. He's a New Yorker, my agent. So he's like he's into the enthusiasm. He's like very enthusiastic about. He's like, I mean, that was kind of what started it. Like the views. I saw what it looked like on the drone, and I was like, shit, this could look like the opening of Manhattan. Like,
yeah, right.
Like how great would Manhattan be if it was just about New York and not Woody Allen fucking a high schooler? You'd be like, holy shit, this is perfect.
Yo, drones, maybe. Maybe it's different for like younger kids or if you've grown up with that type of footage and watching those videos. But when you show me a drone shot, I'm instantly like, whoa.
Yeah, high tech.
Wow, this is beautiful. This is going to win cinematography awards.
I couldn't believe it. I it feels like a bare bones project to the, I mean, like, I'm the whole budget. Like me. I'm like, I'm paying for like meals, all that. And to the point that like, I couldn't believe we had access to this type of equipment. I mean, when I say I'm the whole budget, like we'd go out, like night 5, I'd be like, I think we got the special. Let's go out and get fucking hammered and have a great dinner. Let's find a great dinner spot. We'd all go out, we get wrecked, and we'd kind of bond. You know, me, Ian Fidance, or Phil Hanley, whoever was doing the warm up that night. We get the camera guys, we get drunk, and then we'd be like, shit, we missed something. It was like 5 or 6 more of those dinners. Like we just had to keep.
How long did it take in total?
Probably like 10 shows because we only used 4 or 5. And there were like shots from other shows we used, but like where they'd be like, no, this is beautiful. You got to nail it. And I'm like, the crowd would give me nothing. And I'd be like, they're like, no, we can sweeten it. I'm like, you can't sweeten it. It's outdoors.
Yeah,
like,
that's tough.
It sounds weird when you sweeten it. You just hear like one guy like, ha ha.
That was funny.
I think it was you who posted the video earlier on in quarantine. I think you were at the New York Comedy Club and you were talking about how maybe last year, I don't know if you used the word diva, but you were like, I was pretty like strict with where I was going to do shows where like I wanted low ceilings. And like now I'm like, yeah, I'll take a fucking roof.
Yeah. Real conversation I had with my reps where they were just like, well, what do you like last year? I'd be like, I want a nutritional option on the menu. I'm sick of eating wings every night. I want a nutritional option. I want security. And now I'm really like, yeah, I'll do a fucking East River amphitheater. Why not? You know, I literally, it feels like such an adventure because I had this guy, Josh, follow me around with a camera because he just wanted to document all this. So we're walking around like the housing projects in the Lower East Side, and it's late at night, and these 3 kids just circle us on bikes, and one of them yells, "Fuck you!" And I'm like, "Ah!" And then they bike away, and I turn to him like, "Did you get that?" Like it turns into this adventure. So then I do the show in the East River, and you're like, "Well, this can't get any worse." Mid-set, some drunkard just walks over and starts pissing 10 feet next, and I'm just like, "This is like." I told him like, "Don't film. This is like humiliating for this guy. Don't film this." There's so many things that have happened. There was another show I did in Jersey during the pandemic where we're outdoors at this great restaurant, and a guy in like a buzz cut just runs over to me, and I'm expecting him to hit me. Like we posted this, and my caption guy Toby wrote, "Drunk rushes the stage," and like he didn't rush it, and I'm like, he came pretty hard at me, and he yells like, "Fuck you!" There's an exit behind the stage door.
Right, I saw that. That
like,
was so ridiculous.
I said, "There's no exit behind the stage door." And he was like, and I finally just go, "Are you okay?" Like, I'm kind of like looking at him like, is this dude all right? And then he goes, "Yeah, there's a fucking exit," or whatever he said. And I was like, all right. And like, those are the things that happen. And you have to go back to material at a certain point.
Right.
And it's like, it does get a little complicated, you know?
Of all those situations, the scariest one is still the kids on the bike.
The
kids
like that will fuck
the Manhattan, because I live like down on 14th, and it's like I don't know if that's part of their typical path, but I like weekly there will be hundreds of kids who just go riding their bikes by my house or by my apartment, like popping wheelies, just riding wheelies the whole time. It is,
dude.
It's the most scared I ever am in Manhattan. I'm terrified every single time it happens.
They're so good at wheelies. Those kids can do shit on bikes. I'm like, you guys should be on fucking X Games, man. You're unbelievable. They are terrifying.
It doesn't make any
scary
sense
that they talk shit and they also have that level of discipline. So you know they could make it. I mean, that's the problem. Is like. Now it's not just bikes in New York. You got to deal with like the kids on the scooters. There's like all these new. It's like if they remade the Warriors, it would be like the lamest looking gangs ever. You know. But
they're great at organizing. Like they must use community. Yeah. Like they just somehow get hundreds of them together and it's just like, yeah, we're all riding today, boys.
Are you a Manhattan guy? Like where did you grow up?
I grew up Chelsea, then the Upper East Side.
Okay, so you got to be a weirdo too.
I'm a weirdo for sure.
Were you riding the subway when you were like 9?
I was pretty young on the subway.
I mean, that's I was in the Bronx, and like I've always had jobs in Manhattan or been in Manhattan, but living in Manhattan, where you don't have a backyard, you're not riding your bike as much, you're like always out on the fucking stoop maybe, and you're riding the subway. It's you had no shot. You were gonna be weird no matter what, Sam. If you grow up in Manhattan, you're weird. Period.
There is a lot of weirdness. Also, my mom's an artist, so there was like that on top. Like I was with my girlfriend, and she saw this picture of me when I was a baby. Like literally, this is my mom. My mom. There was a picture of me. She had like one of her photographer friends do this photo shoot of me as a baby, and my mom just puts me in a little jean jacket and is like holding me up. My dick is just out, like it's like this weird artistic shot where she's just holding me in the air. I'm basically like Simba in the Lion King, but like this artistic shot, and I was like, oh, I had no chance to not be like a weird kid.
No shot.
That's my mom's a great mom, but that's like how my mom saw me. She's like, look at him.
Yeah.
Look at
I could just see it like in Lion King. She holds it up and then there's just a crew of Jewish mothers like, yeah.
I always think that's like a trope in movies where it's like, Mom, don't show my baby pictures. And it's like, well, like you like the dick's grown, but that one I might be like, Mom, put that fucking
put the dick away. The jean jack dick. I get it out of here. Your mom has been.
Jacket's so epic. Like she went to a store to buy a baby. Like they planned out that shot where he was like, let's try a leather jacket. Now let's get him on a bearskin rug, just posing. Yeah, it definitely is. I mean, you think of the times. Like I think of being like a 6th, 7th grade kid, like in Manhattan, and like you go into those bodegas, and you're always pushing the envelope. I remember like trying to buy Playboys, and you see the bodega guy, and they should be like, no, you're too young, but instead they're like, Now Playboy's bullshit. Try Club or Hustler.
that good. Yeah. No, I feel like when you're a Manhattan kid, you know, you're at the bodega, you're smoking cigarettes or buying a 40 or buying a Playboy, all of that way ahead of the curve, way ahead of the time.
It's
But
good
also,
you get it out of your system.
Yeah,
you're in like 8th grade and you're like, you're still doing menthols.
Exactly. Yeah, there is a sophistication to it where it's like, you know, in Europe when they're like, yeah, we
I don't know
let them
about
have no, not sophistication, but
people,
the way
people think that because there's like some like because this is a cultural epicenter of Manhattan, they think there's like a sophistication, but we were just getting drunk with 40s like a year earlier.
Yeah,
that's really all it is.
But it's like you could handle yourself a little bit more than the next guy. Maybe not sophistication, but I feel like,
dude, I couldn't handle myself. That's the problem. It's like the problem
you
is
can't handle yourself now.
I can't. I mean, that's a good point. I mean, but the problem is, you know, my parents would lock the door because they knew I'd come home fucked up. So my parents would lock the door, and I would have to like ring the doorbell. They would open the door, and my mom would be like, "Good night," so she could sniff me to see how fucked up I was.
Right.
And she would be like, "Wow, you," and I'd be drunk, so I'd be like, "They were blowing weed on me. I didn't smoke it. They blew it on me." But like one time, I remember I passed out against the door, like so drunk, I just passed out, and I kept ringing the doorbell. My mom opened the door, and I fell flat on my face and started vomiting. And my dad said, "What happened to you?" And I was so drunk, I just said, I had brown liquid. I had beer and weed. I said brown liquid. So my dad said, see his latest call. So they took out like a Nokia, one of those like old Nokia phones.
Yeah.
Yeah. And my dad said, find his latest call. So he called one of my friends and he goes, "What happened to Sam?" And he goes, "We had brown liquid." For some reason, he also said brown liquid. And my dad goes, "He's had acid. Take him to the ER immediately." I was just drunk.
Did you go? Did he take you?
Yeah.
Oh
we had
my God.
Yeah, there was a doctor came in. He was like, "Your son is
drunk.
just drunk. It's fine."
Sir, your son is shit-faced. It'll be okay. How old were you for that?
I was young. I was probably like 13 or 14.
Yeah, that's what I mean. That's
probably like 15 actually then.
That's-
My first time I got arrested, I came down to New York to spend some time with my friend who lives. I went to high school, like a boarding school. So a kid was from New York, and we came down. We spent the night in Manhattan, and I got arrested at NYU with a 40. I think it was a Cobra, King Cobra, and I was like, so I got a court summons to show up in like 2 weeks on a Wednesday, and I was like a sophomore in high school, and I was like, how the fuck am I gonna get from Rhode Island to Manhattan for my court date on Wednesday?
Right.
And I just like,
how old were you?
I think I was a sophomore, so I was probably 15. and so I have this grand idea where I create this big concert that I can't miss. And I tell my mom, like, OAR is doing this huge show in Manhattan. I gotta be there. She's like, well, that's pretty cool. So she's like, yeah, it's fine. Like, you can take the day off from school. And so I asked for a ride to the train station at like 6 a.m. Wednesday morning. She gives me a ride. And the whole time I'm like, I'm gonna get off. I'm just gonna plead guilty. I'll have a minor underage drinking and whatever. I'll plead guilty. I'll pay my fine and I'll just get the fuck back to school. And as we pull up to the train station, my mom just looks over at me and goes, "So what are you gonna plead today?" And then my uncle, who's a lawyer, opens the car door and is like, "I'm coming with you."
That's
and
hilarious.
I guess they'd sent like a summons home
I'm
or something,
sure.
as they obviously would.
Yeah.
And I just thought the whole time that I was getting away, like she had no idea.
That's incredible.
Saved it for
cops
weeks.
Were like, the cops really, I had that too. I remember, you have those friends who are like veteran drunks, even when you're a kid. And my friend Dan, he's actually a bartender at the Cellar now, but I grew up with Dan. And we used to go out drinking all the time. He was like a friend. I'd do 40s with him in the street. We'd have fake IDs, all that shit. And I remember Dan was such a jaded New Yorker. He was a year older than me. And we were walking down the street drinking beers, and the cops stopped us and made us fill out the summons. And Dan he's not even scared. He just keeps drinking. The cop goes, "You can keep drinking now that we gave you a summons, because it's, you can't be in trouble for the same thing." And Dan goes, "Yeah, I know the rules." And he just keeps drinking casually. Those were like my friends when they were just like, we get it, officer. We know what happened. This is my first fucking
ridiculous
rodeo.
That's absurd. When you're doing that at the age of like 14, there's something wrong, you know? It's just not natural, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know the rules. Thanks, dude. I've read the NYPD handbook, chapter 6.
Yeah, this is like my fifth time. You know, I'm a felon at this.
Yeah,
point.
he's like citing double jeopardy. I'm like, I don't think that's for summons on the street. I think they could still But all right.
I had two cousins, the Jewish side of my family. Two cousins. They lived on Central Park West. They're big ritzy bougie family. They had a house in the Jersey Shore, and they called it the country house. Like that's how they were so city that like Jersey was like the deep country. It's like they're just not normal when you come up around here, man. It's just a totally different experience. But I also feel like that's got to be like incredible for comedy, no?
Yeah, I mean, I was going to clubs when I was in high school. I remember seeing Bill Burr at the comic strip and just being blown away, and seeing Dave Attell at Caroline's, Patton Oswalt at Caroline's. I mean, it was pretty damn special to see all those guys. And yeah, I remember. I mean, it's crazy. I saw Bill Burr at comic strip. Then, like a couple years later, I was in college. He came down to my college, so I got to hang out with him a little bit. And then, like another 8 years after that, we were just on a Conan episode together. And now I just know the guy. It's hilarious how time flies like that. But yeah, just seeing that level of comedy when you're young is pretty. It's pretty cool. I mean, I saw Attell just like it was like Jedi level shit. Yeah. I mean, just seeing him work a crowd, you know. It's good. Right? It's good.
Yeah.
It's good to. I mean, a lot of people come from other cities and they're like, this guy's incredible, but like they're incredible in Topeka. You know, if you're in New York City, you're like, oh shit, Dave Attell is like the funniest guy in the world. It's crazy.
I feel like there's also such a like brotherhood or whatever you want to call it, community, family in comedy. But like once you get past at a club or you like put out a special or you have some success, you're like in with these guys, right? I feel like there's a level of respect that it's like you're all like. You all at least recognize each other. You're not best friends or anything, but it's like you'll get respect from all these guys that you may have grown up watching because I feel like you've earned it at this point.
Thank you, man. Yeah, I mean, a lot of the comics that I've always revered have always they turned out to be very generous. And I mean, once they shit on you, you feel good. You're like, oh shit, they like me. Like that, it's funny. It's like, I mean, like I remember one night I was at the Cellar and I was smoking a cigar on the steps with Mike Vecchione. It was my birthday. I was like, I'm gonna have a birthday cigar. And Attell comes out of nowhere and he taps me on the shoulder and he goes, hey Sam, you had a good set, but it wasn't that good.
It was a cigar on the stoop.
Wasn't cigar on the stoop good. So like whenever they shit on you, yeah, or like, you know, it's pretty cool when they shit on you. You're like, all right, I feel like that's how they show you they like you. Like it's like a kid in the you know, it's like when you're like 3 and you push a girl off the seesaws and they're like, he likes you, you know?
Right. Yeah, if comics are I feel like if comics are nice to you, it's like, oh yikes, you fucking stink, dude. You bomb. Yeah,
nothing worse than a comic going, hey buddy. You're like, oh my god, what did I do?
Oh yeah.
Am I about to get me too'd? What happened?
Is this something you always wanted to do? Like, all right, so here's the question. Do you remember like your first big laugh where you went like, okay, I'm funny? Maybe not even necessarily like in a club. Like it could be just like at a family party or something
like
playground,
that. Whatever, yeah.
Yeah, in high school I was getting laughs just being a bad kid. Like it wasn't highbrow stuff. It was like a teacher would call me and I'd lift both of my heads behind my head and fart and everyone would laugh. And it was like it wasn't like, you know, it wasn't like, oh shit, that's Carlin-esque. It was more like me just going for
I don't know, man. Listen, some kid puts his legs above his head and farts. That's a peak comedy in my book. Holy shit. That takes balls.
I remember yeah, there was a few lines in high school that definitely like you know, like I remember our high school was across the street from a hotel. So there would sometimes be people naked across and it would just be, it was like the obvious joke, but I'd be the only one willing to say it, you know, in the class. So like someone would be naked and I would like stand up and be like, titties. And everyone would like cheer and they'd be like, get out, Sam. So it was like shit like that. And then over time, I was trying to go for wittier, like that. I was like a bad kid. And then it hit like 11th, 12th grade. And I started like going for the joke that like included the teacher. So then they started liking me. I was like, oh, let me try to get everybody on board here. So that was like, and then eventually I did like a thing for the school where we had to do community service and then do a presentation on it. And I tried to make it a stand-up routine and it killed. And that was horrible because I was like, well, clearly I'm ready. Let me start hitting the mics. And then it was like people with like fucking 40s just being like, this guy fucking sucks. So it was like that high, that low. And then I would do like shows where my friends would show up, bringer shows, and I would kill again. So it was such a mercurial existence where I'm like, I don't know where I am yet, but I know that it's a drug. When you get that good high, you're like, I got to get back to that good high.
Yeah. We talked about it relatively recently. Like I suppose maybe if you're a singer or a band or whatever, you're on stage and you see everyone like, singing your songs or dancing along to your shit. But I mean, other than that, like the feeling of having a crowd just like in stitches, I don't know if there's anything that like compares to that type of the confidence and swagger and like cockiness that you must get out of it, where it's like, I just fucking owned this room, rooftop, club, whatever it is,
Yeah, it's definitely so I needed something because I felt like I came from a family of, my brother and sister were just straight up overachievers. Both went to Ivy League law schools. I mean,
oh shit.
For me, it was kind of like, I got to stand out some way because I'm not getting attention, in that way. I wasn't
what
getting
would
like
Plan B have
academic
been?
attention.
What would you have done?
I don't know. I started stand up at like 18, so I didn't really have a plan B. I think, I think it was just like what, and also you start out as a comic, you don't understand how much work it takes. Like I realize now, like, man, I have to work pretty hard just to be like an okay comic. But when I was 18, I think a lot of it was like, well, I'll drink for free at this job. Like I wasn't thinking like health insurance wasn't an issue for me. I was like, oh, whatever, fuck health insurance. I can get a free screwdriver whenever I want. This is worth it. And my mom, I think, was like hip to that, where she was like, I think you just like that you can get drunk. And I was like, stop it, Mom. It's hammered.
Brown liquor. Brown water.
But, I think, and then over time, I mean, I loved stand-up. It wasn't like that. But then I realized like, oh, David Tell drinks a lot, but he works his fucking ass off. Like this guy works so hard. And then I'd see other comics like who I respected. And the ones I respected were clearly prolific. And I heard Colin Quinn say, you have no shot in this business if you have a drinking problem. He's like, it's already enough against you. You have no chance.
Wow. I mean, is there any way, I feel like, you guys do like 6-7 nights a week, like 25 sets a week. Is there any way, do you have to do that? Like, do you know of anybody who's made it, who's like, yeah, I go up on Thursdays and Saturdays and like, that's it?
I think some people, but they've made it through some other avenue. Like they have a huge podcast or they're like on a TV show or something. I think the ones who make it, it's like you're never going to be a Jim Gaffigan and go up twice a week. Like those guys are just, they're addicts, they're fiends. And you feel it in their comedy. And there are people that they're famous enough to keep getting like deals from Netflix or Amazon or HBO, but they're not good specials, a lot of those people. So if it's someone who's putting out a lot of work and the quality's high, then I think you got to get up like a psycho. I think you have to.
Crazy. Yeah. Are you still dating Taylor?
I am, yeah.
Yeah, so I feel like that also it kind of works where it's like you got to find someone who understands that, or at least has an equal type of gig or drive where it's like this comes first and it takes 6 nights a week for me. So
Taylor goes hard and and she writes so much, and she's like, it's cool to be with someone who I'm like, oh shit, I got to up my game. It's like it's fun to be in a relationship where she's not annoyingly on, but she's always thinking of like what could be a joke. And I love that.
Right. That's true. I feel like guys probably often we fall into a sense of security where we're like, look, I'm the funny one.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
I don't even have to try. This is easy.
If she's
you got
funnier than I
someone
am,
challenging you there, right there. You got someone.
I got nothing though. If she's funnier than I am, what do I bring to the table here? We're not here for my looks.
A lot of guys, yeah, you're right. I mean, I have a lot of female comic friends who are like, I can't date. It's so hard to date because they're instantly intimidated.
Yeah,
by like, and I get it. Like, I'm sure guys like, if you're a guy and you've gotten laid your whole life by your sense of humor, and then you meet someone funnier than you're like, fuck, what am I going to do?
I literally have nothing to offer you.
Yeah.
I literally, and it's like, of course there's a page like, what is she with me for my fucking bone structure? Like, I mean, like clearly, like my humor is all I have. So if they're better than that, you're like, fuck, what do I do? You know?
I look like a Play-Doh doll that got stepped on. If you're not laughing at my jokes, I have nothing for you.
It's not my face, it's not the dick. It's not, there's nothing here, man.
How long were you out in LA for? Because you guys were doing.
Oh my God!
You did a lot of what a lot of people did, where it's like, all right, we're gonna do like this for the pandemic because it can't be that long, and then
we're gonna every day, fucking an hour post, and then it's like, oh wait a minute, this is a lot.
This is a lot because I actually got nervous. I was like, oh shit, they broke up because we
went on a break.
Stories.
We went on a break for a minute. Okay. Yeah, we went on a break. I mean, well, look, the love was still there, but I mean, long distance in a pandemic, I think we were both going a little crazy. So, I mean, that's kind of probably why I did a special. I didn't want to think about it. So, No, we went on a little break and now we're back, but yeah, it's tough. It was tough for me to be in LA. I mean, I'm not built for LA. I'm incompetent. Like I can't drive. I'm not a good outside of New York City person. New York, I'm like it turns out knowing which train connects to the end is not a useful skill.
It does not translate. Yeah.
It doesn't translate to LA. I mean, that's the other. It's also like I'm just worthless. I don't have life skills out there. So
this is what I mean, dude. It's because, in this city where you grew up when you were 13 years old smoking Newports and drinking 40s, you know this place like the back of your hand. You can dominate this city, but you're weird. It does not work. Nobody else gets it.
She couldn't work a lighter the other day because Taylor had a very religious upbringing. So I grabbed it and I did it. And she's like, see, you do have value. Someone needs a lighter.
You have skills.
A classic caveman providing for his woman.
I made her. Taylor doesn't really drink, but she'll have a drink if I'm having one sometimes. Like if I make it like a girly drink. So I was like, you know what? I made a mango chili margarita, chili salt rim, really good.
Yeah.
Good for someone who does it. Like this is how I like wean someone into alcohol. I'm like, let me wean you onto a drug with the good stuff here. But she takes a sip and she's like, oh, this is so good. I'm like, well, this is my skill. I can bartend, I can light a cigarette, and that's about it. Like
those are good skills, though. I know. Maybe we're the fucked up ones too, but I'm like, I'll take that.
You're not far off from me.
Right.
That's about what I
provide.
I can also drive.
Yeah.
So
we got you there.
She let me drive once, and she was like, "This will never happen again." She has friends in LA who have gotten in like car crashes who can drive. So I can't imagine how much she worries about me. Same with my mom. I literally Taylor and my mom worry about me in a way I've never. I mean, my mom was a single mom for a few years, so it was really like me and her against the world. And I think Taylor has that same thing. Like, please be. I'm with Taylor, and my mom calls me and say, "Oh, mom, I gotta call you back. We just ordered food and it's here." And she goes, "And you have a system for getting the food that's COVID safe?" I'm like, "Yeah, we figured it out, mom." I don't know if you've read any Seamless, any website. They leave it outside your door.
We're good.
I used to have a bit where true story. I was on the phone with her and I saw a dead pigeon. I was like, "Ooh, a dead bird." And my mom yells out, "Don't touch it!" And I was like, "Yeah, I've figured out life without you around. I don't know."
Dude, did you see?
Don't touch it.
We had a guy here who was he went out to the bodega on his way back to his apartment.
Oh my God!
A fucking lynched rat, like tied up with like a cord or something, right? It was like a string of some sort.
I'm gonna put the picture up here. It's the most disturbing picture.
Oh no!
I've ever seen.
Was it autoerotic
was it what?
Asphyxiation or what happened?
Yeah, I think this was a kinky rat. I think it was
the rat was just trying to get off.
He's just ever so gently swaying in the breeze, and it's just this rat who has been hanged, and I'm like, yeah, you're not going to see
some guy run out. No, mini David Carradine. No. Oh my God! What the fuck?
It's just he said he almost walked into it, like he was looking down on his phone.
Oh,
like a rat against.
That's
the
other
face.
dude. That's the rats in this city. It's like it is a bigger problem than people talk about. We're like dude, to the point. And they're not even scared of you. Like they'll run into your shoe. Like they're like, "You're in my way."
Yes.
Like it's one of those things where I had Taylor in town, and every time when you have a girlfriend who lives in California, you're trying to show off New York to her. You're like,
Good
this
side.
is what you're missing.
Yeah.
But New York is like a shitty roommate that won't behave. Like it's like she'll come. I'm like, everything's good, and then rats just run out, or she'll see a guy in the subway with his dick out. And I'm like, dude, you promised. Come on. Like
Dude,
there's the I was just reading an article, I think it was in the Post yesterday, about a Chipotle, I want to say it's on the Upper East Side, that they had to close because the rats won't stop attacking the employees. like 4 employees have been bitten, and it's just like, we're not coming to work anymore, man. Like, you gotta get this fucking problem under control.
Rats. That's so New York that we just bend to the rats. They're like, the rats won't allow this. We're sorry.
Yeah.
I used to live in a block with like.
It took
if
4
you live
of
in a
them.
block with a lot. If you live in a block with a lot of restaurants, you're just gonna have rats.
Right.
Like it's disgusting.
Can you
But
imagine,
I remember
like Chipotle getting like Chipotle corporate getting a call being like, we had to shut down the East Side branch. Like, why? Well, the rats. The rats overcame us. Like, oh, okay. I guess there goes that business.
It's such a. I mean, think about that job of like. Your job is to dispose of rats. Like you're a garbage man in the city. That's a shit. I know they pay all right, but it's like it's a shitty job, man.
You're fighting
just
against the rats.
Exterminators, and you can't
big.
exterminate.
No,
exactly. You can't, dude. They're getting big. You see these? I think it was in like South Africa or something. There's like giant rats now, and I'm like, oh, that's like they're talking about like murder hornets. I'm like, I'm okay with murder hornets. Just keep those fucking dog-sized rats away from me. That's a problem,
dude. My favorite joke of the new special. It's so fucking accurate.
Wait, before we tell you, I want to. Is it weird to ask you what yours is? I feel like that's like almost asking a parent what their favorite kid is.
Well, I mean, I like the closer because it's like it took a while to kind of figure out, and because it was a wacky night, and so I mean, I love having a story come together. But then, for like straight up bits, I love the joke about my biological father who was petting a cat the first time I met him, and he told me, he goes, I rescued her and I nursed her back to health, and I go, huh? So you did have it in you. That was one of my favorites. Because
that one hits home for you, I think. Yeah,
it's just fun. It's fun to turn something that was like, oh, that hurt for a second, and now it's funny.
Right.
So I like those. I think the butthole joke is pretty fun too, because I like a butthole joke that makes fun of homophobia and also throws in a Broadway musical reference. That was a real New York.
It's perfection. Dude.
I was watching it probably last week, the special, and I texted Kevin in the middle. I was like, this is the joke Sam just told, and it is 10 out of 10. That one was so fun. I was
the execution, the comparison, like, because it's exactly how I feel about Broadway. It's like, wow, this is actually awesome. I was gonna say, I should have given it a shot a long time ago.
As someone who loves a good show, and an occasional finger in the butt, I was like, it's perfect.
It's so accurate. When you write that, like, do you remember the moment where like you were sitting in your apartment and that strikes you or whatever, and you've got gold? Is it something like that?
Yeah.
Or is it?
Yeah. Well, it kept kind of coming. Where the first one was, I think it was like, oh, the butthole is like what people will say that a finger in the butt is gay. So immediately I was like, oh, well, that's like in my head, it's like it's a homophobic statement. But so I thought that was kind of funny because I'm like, oh, maybe I'm a little gay. I don't fucking know.
Right.
Like maybe we're all a little gay because like they say that the G-spot for men is in the butt. So let's examine that. Go with that. Then I started saying, so I was like, what's a good analogy? And I was like, oh yeah, you get called gay too if you like Broadway if you're a kid, but I like Broadway. I don't know what to tell you. And then so I started breaking down like the butthole's like a Broadway show. Gays talk about the most, but if you're a straight guy and you never go, you're missing out. So it kept going.
There's layers to it that just every single step of the way is so fucking true.
I mean, I remember like, seeing musicals as a kid and being like, when you're really young, you're like, oh, this is uncool. But then I got a little older and I was like,
this is amazing.
Fuck, man, Les Mis is deep.
Yeah,
it's great.
Right.
But like, hey, my mom took me to see Cats when I was a little kid. Like my mom always wanted me to see Broadway. That was like her thing. She's like, this is important.
I'm from a very similar family, but Cats is the only one we walked out of.
Really?
We left it at intermission. We were like,
it's so weird.
It's weird. But
I did not care for Cats.
But I was now they have musicals that are actually like good for kids. Like that was just like the only kids one at the time. Now they have like,
Mean Girls.
Oh yeah. I mean, I didn't see that. I love the movie.
Mean Girls was great. I saw it on Broadway. It was fantastic. Yeah.
I mean, certain musicals definitely like, I love watching them. Taylor's obsessed with musicals. So she and I decided to watch The Guys and Dolls with Brando and Sinatra. One of the funniest things you'll ever. I mean, Brando singing "Luck Be a Lady," like Brando beating out Sinatra for the lead character in a musical is fucking. They call you Lady Luck. You're like, what? This is not good singing.
This is ridiculous. Yeah.
But I love Brando, so it is hilarious. And then you see, the whole premise of it is fucking ridiculous. Like if I win this game of dice, you guys all have to go to a meeting with me for like to find Jesus. And they're like, what? No, fuck you. I mean, it's so dumb and great. And there's also shit that like obviously hasn't aged well. Like Brando trying to get this woman drunk and she's like, well, I've never had alcohol before. And he's like, it's like a milkshake, isn't it? And she's like, yeah, another milkshake. He's just trying to like get this woman shit faced. You're like, oh boy. I love old musicals, man. Singing in the Rain. They crack me up. They're just fun.
See, I haven't seen many old ones. That's actually something I should probably delve into.
Taylor made me watch it. I was like, I've seen it twice now. I love it. It's incredible.
It's like you said, if you're not doing it, you're missing out. You know? Honey, put a finger on my ass and put on Singing in the Rain. Let's go. Let's have ourselves a night.
Coach, I can have everything.
All right, man. Well, the new special is out. I mean, it's crushing on YouTube again. It's unbelievable that you found a way to, you know, the fact that it's out there for free but still doing so well and you're still succeeding is unbelievable. And then the one day when they come with the bag, I think you should just be like, "Fuck you." But like, yeah, I'll take it. But fuck you guys. So
I'll sign it, but with a middle finger emoji. You're right. I gotta.
All right, thanks for the time, man. We really appreciate it.
Thank you so
Thanks
much
for having me.
Have a good one.
Appreciate it.
See you later, bud.
You know, it's I think that the Sam Morril joke will do more to normalize butt stuff for men than I think anything, because it's just so goddamn accurate and funny that it's like we have to talk about this joke, and then it's going to lead to all of us admitting that we do some weird stuff with our butts. It's a moment in time. A moment in time that's going to have people be like, I ordinarily would keep this quiet. I'm a little bit shy about this. But that was so fucking funny. We got to talk about it.
Yeah. Also, I love Hamilton. So,
also, my favorite song is the Schuyler Sisters singing "Helpless." So, put a finger in my ass. All right, Josh Potter. Yeah, maybe Josh Potter needs a finger in his ass.
That could be it.
Josh Potter can't come, and he'll tell you all about it. I would have to imagine he's explored that by now.
I'd
imagine he's had a fucking plunger up his ass.
Everything.
Yeah. So, Josh Potter. He's from the Your Mom's House crew, vouched for by Tom Segura, funny guy, big time stoolie, and he's one of the more like open dudes, like you know, just like he'll tell you about his eyeballs, he'll tell you about him coming, he'll tell you about whatever you want, just like yeah, man, this is me.
I'd say he's comparable to us.
Yeah, very.
We say a little too much sometimes.
Yeah, very, very often. He's a third chair of KFC radio type of interviews. So here we go, Josh Potter, let's go.
Hey, I don't know what's going on with my video.
Yo, there you go.
There he is. What's up, bud?
What's going on, man?
How you guys doing?
We're doing good, dude. Let me. I'm
trying to get it so it's not as dark. Here, I'll sit on the other side.
What's up? Oh, okay, cool. Rocking the hoodie, I see. I appreciate that.
Oh, yeah, dude. Got to send Baby Shay and Baby Keeks to college.
That's my man. Thank you, sir. I appreciate it. Josh Potter joins us now. This is a guy I was just explaining. You know, we've been trying to make this happen for a long time now. We were always going to kind of wait until you were in New York in person, but now with all this shit going on, fuck it. Let's do it.
Yeah, fucking COVID, man. It's ruined a lot this year, but this being one of them for sure.
Yeah, no doubt.
I think it's got to be towards the bottom of your list, though, right? Oh, man, that flopped bad.
I thought for a second, I was like, boy, he's letting that linger. Really fucking you on that.
Sorry about that. I don't know what the hell's going on with my... That was on me, obviously, I guess.
We can hear you. I can't see video.
Yeah, I'm going with my screen now here. Start video. There we go.
That's much better.
Oh, yeah,
before you looked like you were in a fucking like Al Qaeda cave. You looked like you were doing like a terrorist video. It was all dark. Now we're popping. Now I can see that beautiful face.
Yeah, I don't know what the hell happened there. Sorry about that. Is
no
the
problem.
audio okay on
yeah, no, we're all good now.
Right.
So yeah,
Perfect.
this dates back to, I'm pretty sure maybe the first contact I ever had with you is I sent you a DM and I said, "What's with this whole not coming thing?" Which has got to be one of the weirder openers.
That's a bizarre DM to send somebody.
Big time. Now, to be fair, when you were posting all over the internet that you can't come and the mantra was "make Josh come," it's a little bit more normal. But in a vacuum, yes.
If that's a weird DM, that's the most common DM I get. Probably out of all of the DMs.
You're like an e-girl with people asking to buy your bathwater. It's just asking about your fucking ejaculation schedules.
My mom texting me Happy Thanksgiving was more rare than me getting what's up with this cum situation.
So for the people who don't know, if you're a fan of Tom and Bert and you keep up with all that circle, you certainly know. But for the people who don't know, what is up with your coming situation, Josh?
Well, I don't know if you guys are, because I know you guys talk about these kinds of things. Like, it's not a performance thing. It's like I still stay hard or whatever, and I can perform the act, but then I'm just gone or something. I don't know what it is. I just never finish them. It's just like I was gonna say, Feidelberg, you have something similar, kind of, right?
100%, Josh. I'm completely with you here. In fact,
Okay, good.
Like, I don't think it's that weird. I think it's
Wait,
like
no, you were just saying the other day, if you're hard, you're coming.
if I'm sober. If I'm sober, I probably will.
Yeah.
If I'm drunk, I'll fake it probably every time.
But this is not a drunk thing. This I'll figure every time.
No, it's not. Sometimes I just get high to like, so I could deal with it easier. Because when you're sober and you're having sex and that happens, it's like even more alarming for the woman.
Mhm.
Like a lot of them, like some of them, they're just like, "What's wrong? Am I not pretty enough or whatever?"
Yeah.
And you're just like, I guess not. I don't know what to tell you.
I feel
Gentlemen,
like-
fellas, don't say that.
I feel like
Yeah, you're ugly, bitch.
women don't really get that like this sex isn't about you at all.
At all.
And like when women who get like, they like, oh, I like it's a compliment when a guy comes fast. Nothing to do with you.
And when I don't come at all, nothing to do with
the
you.
hottest person I ever had sex with came just as fast as I always do.
Yeah,
it has
it's nothing.
to do with this is 100% a me activity.
Yep.
You're a spectator here.
You are nothing. You mean nothing.
When they're hot, sometimes I think it's gonna be even worse because I'm like, I feel like I need to improve. But I'm learning more with reps and things. So that's the one problem. You just didn't monetize it, but you commodify not being able to come, because boy, oh boy, when women are presented with a chance to find out if they are up to the task or not, that's for sure.
Yeah, that. So I mean, so Tom threw you like the ultimate alley-oop, the best wingman I've ever seen in my life, being like, if you're a girl and you think you can do it, like, fuck this guy. I mean, and then that happened, right? There was, I mean, the red carpet was rolled out, and you just fucked a bunch of chicks who were like, I'll make you come.
Yeah, I mean, so people are always like, no fucking way this guy's getting laid or whatever. I'm as shocked as you are. Okay, folks? I mean, it is not something that I've ever expected, I did radio back in Buffalo before I was a part of Your Mom's House and all this other stuff. And so when you're on the radio, like, you have like this local sort of fame going on, and you can kind of maneuver that into some things. But other than, I mean, I have not seen anything like this, and I doubt many have, to be quite honest with you, in terms of just like the DMs and the volume of it all and everything. It's been wild for sure. It's been a wild year.
I mean,
some
of the,
I mean, you guys get a little bit of the DM action, the DM perils, the pitfalls,
sure,
sure,
But I think there's something to the challenge aspect where you had almost the way he was just saying, the sex is not about, you. In this case, they're trying to prove it to themselves, I feel like. They're like, whoever this guy is, whatever Tom says, so I'm going to make him fucking come. And there was some very attractive girls in there, and I don't want you to take this the wrong way, but I mean, there were some girls, who were above your pay grade.
All the girls are above my pay grade most of the time, you think. Like, that is not speaking out of turn. That is my brand, okay? So, yeah, I mean, I'm well aware. And, yeah, no, it's been remarkable, as a matter of fact. But it's more of like, it's been very weird. Like, now through, like, you go through the fire and everything like that, you start to figure out like what you want. Now it's like, do I want a girlfriend? Maybe I kind of do now. You know what I'm saying? So like maybe that's the like missing link.
Yeah,
like maybe I have to be like in love to come.
your dick is basically Excalibur, and
Yes.
you got to find your King Arthur.
Right. Maybe
right.
that's
We're trying
it.
to pull the sword from the stone.
Josh, maybe you are just the most romantic fucking guy in the world. And it's, it's like, what's that Disney movie where it's like, you got to get a kiss from your one true love. Like, you gotta fuck the pussy that you love, Josh.
That's all the Disney movies, and that's why I'm trying to pitch to Disney, like this is a good trope to go down, the true love's kiss can make me jizz finally.
How many times have you come in this saga? Do you come? Are you coming?
There was breaking news a couple of weeks ago on the show where I did in fact over COVID come once into a mouth without the aid of myself.
Into a mouth is so much weird. It's like they say, like, there's a difference between pissing in a pool and pissing in the pool.
Yes.
Like, that's how it sounds. Like I'm coming into the mouth.
And that was like the only one. So I mean, this started a decent time ago. So we're talking, I don't know, like almost a couple years or 18 months of you just banging all these girls and just not finishing.
Right. I finished myself, onto them.
Okay.
What's the word? Like exteriorly,
Yeah.
From the outside in, but nothing. It's all about the whole key is being inside and then, expounding it inside of them. But not a vagina yet. We've only had a mouth. That's why some people say that counts, and I'm willing to agree with them. If it needs more research, it's like the vaccine.
Yeah, no,
with the
for that
vaccine,
sake,
we have 95% efficacy.
Yeah.
We need to keep going. We need to keep experimenting.
Those people who say it doesn't count into the mouth are the same girls who were like 15 being like, sucking dick means I'm still a virgin.
Yes, yeah, it doesn't count against my number. Yeah, right, you are. My rule was always like, you're either sucking or fucking. Like if a guy's like, oh, I hooked up with the girl, and it's like, you made out with her, dude. Like, come on. I think there's got to be some sucking or some fucking involved.
For sure. But once sucking becomes involved, then you're
it's,
going to hell.
So,
what about some fingers? What about fingers? You don't throw fingers in that category? You need some dick action to be involved in.
You know what? I don't know that I would.
Well, all right, it depends. I think the finger situation, like, let's say, I don't know, you're in like a bathroom bar and this is, back when the world was a real place and you're like hot and heavy and you slide a finger in or something. I don't know if I would say, but if you if you do the old push on their stomach and you're making them come and squirt everywhere, then I think that probably counts twice. That counts more than your average sex, I think.
Dude, one of my first times ever fingering a person was right before a hockey game. I was in high school. I was probably sophomore. And I fingered a girl right before a game and I was like in our dorm. And I ran up to the rink. It was kind of late. Just got dressed real fast. Came in between periods after the first and took my gloves off. And I thought I'd gotten slashed in the fingers and was bleeding just because I had never looked at my hand. She was on her period.
Oh my God!
I was looking for the cut like a fucking soldier in Afghanistan. I'm like, where's the wound? We gotta cauterize it. It was no wound.
At least you had an excuse. You know what I mean? You're like, I was playing hockey. I don't know what this is.
Yeah. Holy shit! What a savage she is.
I know.
Give me a heads up, girl. What a savage you are. You were just running around with no.
It was like a weird thing because I had just transferred into the school, and then one of the seniors on the team was like, "You got to finger a girl before the game tonight," and I was like, "Okay." He's like the captain, and I was like, "I will." So I was trying to close the deal, and then got a little kiss, a little finger in action, and then ran up to the rink late. I don't know, I just never looked down. It was nighttime. I just got dressed fast.
Yeah,
and. It wasn't soaked in, I would have noticed soaked in blood, but it was a solid amount of blood there.
Jesus Christ.
What a weird hazing, by the way. They're like, you have to finger a girl.
Yeah, or I was gonna get fucking paddled if I didn't.
Yeah. But it's like, oh, twist my arm.
Yeah.
Twist my arm to finger a girl.
Right.
It's wild. We've all had horror movie instances, right? I mean, I've had there was a girl that I fucked on 4th of July, in a park in the daytime, under a blanket. And then all of a sudden I'm walking home and I looked down and I thought I spilled beer on me or something. I don't know what, but it was dark, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
And it was blood. She had her period and didn't tell me in the park. We're having public sex.
That again, savage behavior. I'm all for it in certain.
Someone with my dick.
Yeah.
It was what it looked like.
I have two. I had the one where this was on the Blackout tour back in the old days of Barstool, and we were in the DC area, might have been in Maryland, and I slept with a girl, and she was gone when I woke up. And it was literally like Godfather. I woke up looking for the horse head at the bottom of the bed. It was fucking everywhere. And we'd gotten drunk the night before, and I was like, what the fuck happened? I was again looking for cuts on myself before I realized, oh, this is uterine wall. And then but then the next night we were still in town, so I slept in the other bed. But I got drunk again and fell asleep on a candy bar, and it melted. So I had to leave notes on both sheets for the cleaning lady being like, look, this one is blood, but it didn't kill anybody. This one is just candy. It's not poop, I promise. And then the other one was we were in high school, and we were at a party. We were actually in Watch Hill, which is where Taylor Swift lives now. And we were college kids had come to this party. They were actually a college team played at our high school rink, and then some of the players like coached our JV team, and those kids came to the party. They were like sophomores in college, came to like our sophomore in high school party, and I went upstairs like looking for a bathroom or whatever it was I was doing, and I went into a room and it was pitch black, and I could just see 2 legs up and a head down in them, and the kid turned around and went, "Shut the door." And he had his fucking wings on. He looked like he was at fucking Buffalo Wild Wings without a towelette.
I can't. I can't.
It was like it looked like a horror movie because it was just enough light to see what it was, but the lights were out in the room, so it looked like in a horror movie when you like in fucking Stranger Things when the Demogorgon kind of gets caught and turns around.
Oh my god.
It's like Walking Dead when you find out he turned into a zombie because he looks up at you and he's been eating a face, you know?
Yes, exactly.
I mean, all of this.
It takes a special savage to do that.
All of it
That
is
a
savage
special
behavior.
savage.
Like fucking in a park when she doesn't tell you. I mean, there are girls who
But
are.
the mouth I put on him, because you could taste blood.
Yes,
You're
no
having
doubt.
sex with it.
But
That's
also,
like-
I mean, how many girls are nervous to sometimes let guys go down on them? Just their regular pussy. They're like, I'm self-conscious. Let alone when I'm pouring blood out. I mean, that is. I mean, and it's chunky and dark.
You gotta fucking pull the tampon out with his teeth, like you're opening one of those fucking one of those jars that are hard to open.
God
Yo, but
almighty.
There are those dudes though.
There
are those dudes. I call them jaws, man. They smell like chum in the water, and they're fucking.
Yo, let me tell you this much. You willingly go down on a girl who's got her period, you're a fucking sex addict and an animal. You have fucking problems and you need to go
Or
to
a
the-
vampire.
to
You are a savage.
or you feed off blood. I mean, that is how desperate could you be for some pussy? How into someone could you be that you're like, yes, I want to eat the lining of your vagina. I mean, that is just
I'm gonna say this,
disgusting.
Dude, I don't even think vampires. If you asked a vampire
Like,
the
no.
best blood to eat, they'd be like, I don't even fuck with period blood. They're like, that's like,
Yeah, vampires are like me on Thanksgiving. Like, no dark meat for me. Thank you very much.
yeah. Like, what am I, a fucking peasant? I don't eat period blood.
I've either been like aware it was happening and it was like an agreed upon, we understand like it's okay, or I've caught like the tail end or the very beginning. I've never been full blown surprised by the catastrophe. But you know what? I mean, it definitely feels different. You can tell.
Yeah, you think you're killing it. and
Yeah,
then
when
realize,
you're like,
I actually might be.
ooh, girl, you real wet. And then you turn the light on, you're like, oh, no.
Now I have to shower.
Yeah, you do. You do have to shower. It's a whole fucking thing. God damn.
Oh, yeah.
So
It's like a horror movie.
are you even trying to get to the bottom of this? Or you just not even care anymore because you're just fucking, who cares?
I have tried to get to the bottom of it.
What
Like,
Dr.
I
Drew
asked
had to,
Dr.
you
Drew,
probably, yeah. What did Dr. Drew say?
Yeah, I was like, was I like molested or something and I don't know or something? He's like, no, he's like, no, there's nothing like that. He's like, this doesn't say molestation or anything. There's no trauma attached to this. It's just that you might just need a connection with a person. And I was like, that sucks. You know?
Fuck that. But that seems like you wouldn't be able to get
I'd
hard.
rather been molested.
Yeah.
What's that?
I feel like if it was something where you truly needed to connect, you just wouldn't even be in, like the sex wouldn't even happen. You wouldn't even get hard. You'd be like, I'm not into this person. But to not be, and it feels good, like your dick's like enjoying
Well, I'm
it,
still
right?
a man, you know.
Yeah.
I still
Yeah.
like tits and shit, you know. So that
Have
makes me
you
hard,
considered maybe you're gay?
I guess it's just something about giving them my love.
What about if have you come for a
have
guy?
to- listen, people, that's out of the other, the first question is about the cum that I get in DMs. The second question is maybe you're gay.
Yeah.
And to think I haven't thought of that is ludicrous. I mean, like if I were gay, I would just be gay. If I were gay, I'd own Hollywood right now. It would be like, I'd love to be gay in this world. I mean, shit. Being gay looks the coolest. You could
it's
be
the
like,
best.
"What's up, Steve? You want to go suck each other's dicks? Okay,
Yeah.
let's go." And then you do it.
They
Like,
just fuck everywhere. We're in the gym, I'll blow you. We're at the party, I'll blow you. I'll fuck you on the
Yeah.
street. It's like
I think I remember
They
that
have-
being a big thing during the start of COVID in New York when they were closing gyms and like gay guys were like, well, we're gonna fuck each
how
other.
are we gonna fuck? I mean,
Wait,
they-
closing
Oh, yeah,
24-hour
then they-
fitness?
they stopped travel too, so they couldn't go tap their foot in a fucking bathroom at an airport either. You know, I mean, hell, they're blowing each other in airports, the grossest places in the world.
They just do whatever they really want, and because they're all like, yeah, this is cool. There's no stigma, there's no judgment. And then, you know, as Bert and Tom have been exploring, they give each other the best gifts. I mean, I'm just like, I wish I was fucking gay. The only thing holding me back from being gay is the dick, you know? It's the blowing of the dick and the having to get fucked in the butt.
I don't even know if it's the dick. I think it's the kiss in a 5 o'clock shadow.
Yeah. Oh, what's that about?
Feel that grizzle on me.
Girls who like beers perplex me. Like, why? What's to like about this? It's like pubes on your face.
That's what I don't understand either. They get soft after a little while, but even that's weird if it were to kiss a soft beard. I don't know. It's not for me. I wish, like I said, I wish it was that easy. I wish the answer was that I was gay. I would fucking totally, I'd be like, all right, I'm out. I'd have a party.
Yeah.
I'd tweet about it and get every celebrity to cheer me on forever.
Yeah, I feel like
on the
it's
cover of a fucking magazine.
Yeah, it's easier said than done, and I'm sure, you know, it's more complicated than that, especially if you have I don't know, family issues or whatever. But when I see people who are like struggling to come out, I'm like, what are you doing? What are you doing? Just fucking do it. It's gonna be great. I promise you.
I'm not discounting the plight of being a gay man or anything like that. I'm just saying from where I'm sitting, it looks pretty dope.
Right. That's like
amazing.
It's like the people who you know, I think they're few and far between now, but the people who still think it's a choice, and it's like, really, dude? You're fucking choosing to be married to that bitch Meredith?
Yeah.
Like, if you could make a choice, that's the one you choose.
Yeah.
It's not a fucking choice, bro.
God, you know how much we would kill it right now? Like, forget about if I was gay all along. If I just right now came out as gay, be the biggest headline. Like after 10 years of like talking and blogging as a straight guy, I'm just gay now. We'd be famous. Let's get gay.
And also
be considered brave.
Yeah, I'd be a hero.
And when you're gay, you get to say things you don't get to say now.
Oh, like we have such a free pass.
We have our a blogger here, Pat, and he always says, he's like, I'm so lucky I'm gay because I'd be canceled. I'd been canceled 50 times by now if I wasn't.
Whatever he wants, man. We have Snooki from the Jersey Shore. Her co-host, his name's Joey. He comes in here and he's like, "Ooh, I want to suck everybody's cock in here. I'll fuck all of you." He just walking through an office, a place of work. "I'll fuck you. I'll suck your cock. You got a nice ass." Like, what is going on?
And we're all like popping it, like, "Yeah, thanks,
Joey." We love it. It's crazy.
That's why I wish, like, if I could go back in time and be a little voice for Aaron Hernandez. Like, think about how different it could have been if he would have just come out and been gay. And, like, he'd be on the $20 bill right now. You know what I'm saying? Like,
and what's more, Tom Brady would have at least 2 more Super Bowls.
Oh, Tom would have loved it. I mean, everybody.
He catches a touchdown in the Super Bowl and then runs to the end of the end zone and makes out with a dude. Like, how fucking iconic would that be? That would be iconic.
Slapping Tom on the ass. Like, if a player that good came out as gay, you run the league, you run sports. It's the end all be all. Instead, he murdered like 60 people.
Yeah, his closetedness drove him to murder people to overcompensate, when in actuality, he could have been a folk hero.
Yeah. I think the angel dust played a part, too.
The heavy drugs, yeah. But I know, especially, certain backgrounds and cultures, all that shit makes it tough. But to think that it was like, well, I could either just tell people, nah, I'm going to murder everyone. That's a big
kill everyone
swing.
with even an idea.
Right. Anybody who even maybe would joke about it, I'll murder them in very
I'm just going to kill everyone who's heard of homosexuality.
It's crazy. Just be gay, man. Be gay. Someone
just makes a joke like, "Nice drink you're ordering there, Nancy," and he's like, "What'd you fucking say to me?" And then they just get shot at an intersection.
That is literally what happened.
Yeah.
Someone bumped into Aaron, spilled his Cosmo on him. He saw it was a red stain. He's like, "Fuck, they know what it is. It's what Samantha drinks."
So you'll just continue, fucking people until maybe you come again. I mean, the one girl who did, whose mouth you did come into, that must have been a fucking like celebration, and I'm assuming she's aware of the whole situation, so she was probably like, "Fuck yeah, I did it."
Oh yeah, she knows she's a champ. She knows she's a real
one of a kind.
She's top tier.
She's
Yeah, she is. She's
Arthur.
a unicorn for sure.
So is that the one though? Do you? I mean, you just keep going back to that well?
No. I mean, maybe for like a time or two, that'll be fun, but it's not a like forever situation. Let's just put it that way.
That's a tough, like, in any scenario, it's tough to, maybe have the talk about, like, are we something? But if you're a girl and a guy who notoriously cannot come, you finally make him come and he's still like, well, I'm still going to see other girls.
Well,
that's a tough.
She's on the same page. She doesn't necessarily want this to be a forever thing. Either.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, she knows the deal. She knew what she signed up for. She even told me, she goes, if it happens to happen inside the vagina, I know there's a CVS around the corner. Like, there's no way this is happening. So she's game for all of it.
Love it. So how did you end up falling in with Tom and your mom's house, Christina, and like the whole gang? Because I'll tell you what, out of everybody in the podcasting world and the comic world, I mean, that is way up there at the top of the list of the people you want to fall in with. It's, it's royalty in the comedy world and the podcast world.
Yeah, I don't, I mean, I've been doing comedy since 2008 and just doing the road and stuff. And I just thought I was going to do fire halls and bullshit like that for the rest of my life. I was like, that's cool, whatever. I was on the radio. Mm-hmm. So I was like, I thought that would just be my life forever. Making like rinky-dink local content. And then I worked with Tom one weekend at a club, and just like, I've had weekends where I worked with guys that we like hang out and have a great rapport, and like we go to dinner and blah, 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 and nothing ever happens from it. This was just completely normal and cordial of a weekend. And all of a sudden Tom started calling me and being like, do you want to come do this weekend? Do you want to come do this weekend? Wow. And this is before he was like selling tickets and stuff. And then I watched, Netflix specials and his career skyrocket. And then all of a sudden the shows got bigger and bigger. And then he just made a pitch to me. He's like, if you move to LA, I'll give you the rest of my tour. Back in like 2017, he said that. And so I was like, I'm not going to say no to that. So obviously I moved to LA. And after that tour was done, there was nothing beyond that, like set in stone. I had to get a job out here. I was just trying to get past at clubs and stuff. And then he told me at the end of 2018, he was starting a studio and asked me if I wanted to work there. I had no fucking idea what I would do there. And here we are. Now I've got a show on the channel and everything. And it's bananas, man. Yeah. I don't know why. I don't know why he picked me to do those things. I have zero idea. I mean, I hope it's because I'm funny or something, but
doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. Who cares, Josh? Yeah. Like what the fuck ever reason he has is good enough for me, Yeah,
exactly.
It's crazy.
The show just started up. Brand new show on his own channel. Like, it's weird starting a podcast like with the opposite problem being like, usually you start a podcast and you're getting going and you're trying to build an audience. This one, the audience is there. Now I have to like keep them there. Do you know what I'm saying? Right, so it's like a whole nother.
There's pressure in that. There's a lot of pressure. Like, I mean, we did KFC radio for years. Like this is when it was just once a week and podcasts weren't that big of a thing. Probably for like 10,000 people at the most. Just plugging away. And like, I don't know. I never had enough like foresight to be like, all right, and then we're going to get it to 25 and then we're going to get to like, da-da-da. I was just kind of like, I don't know, we're going to keep doing this and maybe something's going to happen, So I was always able to kind of fall back for two things. One, for like material, if you will. I'd be like, we can say whatever the fuck we want because like no one's really listening. And also it was like a built-in excuse where, it'd be like, yeah, well, this is just like a thing on the side we're doing. It's not like that important, whatever. But in your case, it's like you got a name attached to it. You've got their reputations attached to it. You have an audience right away that's listening. It's champagne problems, but it's definitely a dynamic that you have to like be aware of.
Yeah, 100%. And now, I mean, it is all that I have, considering the fact that road dates are off the table. Right. And so it's like I'm putting my all into it. And we're about 10 episodes deep, 11 episodes now. And it's mostly a solo podcast, so it all falls on my shoulders.
That's not easy, man. There's very few people that can do that. So I tip my cap to just have somebody to riff off of is usually almost necessary for, I'd say, like 99% of people out there. So I commend you for that.
Yeah, I'm lucky. I have a we have like a staff that works there that I can, play to. So there's at least people around that you can play to and things like that. So that's cool. And I'm doing guests once a month, like special episodes with guests that are in studio. And we just had Rob Eiler from The Sopranos on.
I was gonna say, you just had AJ on, right?
That's cool. Yeah.
Yeah, he's hilarious, dude. I mean, I know you guys had him on at some point too, right?
Yeah, part of my take.
Through your halls at one point.
Yeah,
he's a big stooly guy. So
yeah,
no, I mean, he was so much fun to have on as a guest, and it's weird. It's actually weirder doing it with a guest than it is doing it alone. I mean, I'm sure you guys know once you have your rapport with each other, and sometimes you throw in another element, and it kind of could either throw it off or it adds to it. You know what I mean? It depends on how things go.
So
it's been a little bit.
Are you technically like employed by, your mom's house productions, or like you're an employee over there? So I feel like
I was basically, Nadav and I were employees 1 and 2, and I don't know why. I mean, Nadav is the guy who runs everything there. Like, he is the guy who runs all the behind the scenes stuff and then hires the other people and does all the technical stuff. And I don't really know why I was hired. So, like, out of the gate, like I said, like, I was helping out whatever I could. I was like putting together desks and like chairs and shit, like getting packages from the mail and stuff, basically, and then Tom would just ask me like, what do you think of this bit or whatever? And then that would be what I would get paid to do, I guess, So, I mean, I would take a fucking bullet for both Tom and Christina, like, hands down, I'm loyal to a T. So
I feel like YMH is kind of like a, doing like a Barstool type thing where it's like a YMH Productions now is gonna be multiple shows, like a network, multiple employees, the live show elements. Like it's a whole enterprise now that I feel like has unlimited potential with the amount of success they've already had.
Yeah, I'd say it's like a like more aiming for a boutique sort of version. I don't know that that Tom wants to get that.
I don't think it'll be like a media conglomerate, but just the idea of you can just be, if you make it, you can just be, I'm a comic and I have my own podcast and we make a shit ton of money. Or it can be like, and now I want to bring you under the umbrella and we're going to produce this and we're going to do that. And they seem to be taking it, a step further. So somewhere in that middle ground, which I think is like, such a sweet spot, like Dave's got to fucking run like a company, and but also, do you want to just be like, I do my podcast and my shows and that's it? If you want something a little bit more but don't want the stress and responsibility, your mom's house is like right there doing it. They're the blueprint, And
you guys know I'm a fan of what you guys do over there, so it's like I look to that as like inspiration, obviously, when we're doing like things over here.
I don't know about that. Maybe the other guys. Look at the other groups. I don't know about this over here. I know you also you've been trying to get the gaming Twitch streaming going. I saw you played.
Well, I have nothing else going on, man. I'm streaming hours upon hours, like. It's helpful for like I have no open mics, I have no sets.
Yeah.
So it's not like I'm running material on there or anything, but it's an outlet to just talk thoughts out. You know what I mean? And it's not like I'm writing jokes from it or anything, but it's given me an outlet. And there's like, 80 people watching or something like that. It's nothing huge, but I think about it in terms of like, if I went out to do a mic tonight, or if I went to a bar show to go run a set, there would probably be 20 people, there, 30 people. So it's more than that. But you're missing you're seeing the chat and all of that, but you're missing the interaction, like the direct laughter. That there's nothing that will ever replace that.
We had an email, an internal email here the other day that was talking about the written blog, getting back to like making sure there's enough blogs. And did you read this? Nate had a line that was
I did not. He sent it at like 11 p.m. on Friday.
it was a terrible time.
It was outrageous time to send a work email.
But he had a line that was like, if you post it here, it's like being, it's like you're performing in front of like a small club. If you post it here, it's like you're performing in front of a theater. And if you post it on the blog, it's like you're getting an arena's worth of people. I think he was basically saying like the idea of, I know you want to be on video and I know you want to be out there, but the blog still has like zillions of fucking people watching. But it is interesting to when you see some of these streaming numbers that maybe are low comparatively to other YouTube numbers or other vloggers or whatever, But yeah, if you were doing jokes before 100, 200 people, even 500 people, that would be a big night. That'd be a big deal.
Yeah.
And instead we kind of
For
like
sure.
poo-poo it on the internet, but like there's a lot of value in even that number too.
Yeah, and it's helped me, supplement that need of like having that outlet. It's also helped supplement some of the income I've lost from gigs I've lost this year, and that's been nice too. And it's so funny. Like I started out, I was doing like Major League Baseball, the show. Like I do just sports games, and people fucking hate sports. It's so weird. Like in our world, there are people that just hate sports for whatever reason, so they get pissed that I play only sports games. But I started out with my career in Major League Baseball, the show, and then
I remember watching it. You are a good promoter in the sense that you're like Potter's the best fucking player in the league, man. Like I'm the MVP. I hit like 7 home runs last night. I was like watching. I'm like following your career on Instagram. Like what the fuck am I doing? What's going on here?
There's that, and then like it's so funny because then I saw like I was doing that, and then I started doing where like I bought the Bills, and I was going to be the Bills owner. And because the Bills are my favorite football team. And then I saw, Big Cat's doing Doug's, and I'm like, motherfucker.
Well, that was
like this
team.
Yeah, and he's got like this team making videos and shit. And I'm over here making videos on my phone, like while I ride the bus. And I'm like,
that had
I'm doing
to be
my shitty voiceovers and shit.
That for the true gamers of the world, the people who have been on Twitch, since Twitch started, putting blood, sweat, and tears into their franchises and their streams, trying to get up to, like I said, 500, 1,000 people. And then Dan just strolls in and overnight has like 250,000 people watching him. I mean, that must have been like,
I understand.
Fucker.
I don't even give a fuck about the gamer people, or like, I understand the numbers differential too. It was just so like discouraging, like seeing like the video production team he had, and he's got like magazine covers.
Josh,
I'm like,
Josh, he found a human. He found a human to promote that was his coach. I mean, it was the ultimate, the perfect
it was
storm.
One of those things where I go, I have to step up my fucking game here. This is the big leagues. But yeah, though the human, he's doing great too. I see him doing Christmas carols and shit.
Yeah, he's a great guy too. He's a really nice dude.
You guys really find the people. I love how you do it.
All right, speaking of stepping up to the big leagues, it's time for Answer the Internet. You ready?
Oh, I'm down. Let's go.
Fucking ready?
Hell yeah.
This is a very interesting one for you, considering I don't even know what goes through your mind when you're fucking, because you're probably just sitting there going like, please come, please come, please come. Would you rather your girlfriend be able to read your thoughts during sex or all the time except during sex?
During sex, 100%. Because they're about her at that point. At least I can,
Well,
she'll catch a couple that are about her, whether good or bad. At least they'll be about her.
You think? You've never closed your eyes and thought of an ex or another girl or another, a fantasy girl?
I don't do that necessarily. I don't really do that actually, because it's more about just like, I don't know. I never really did that, but I definitely could assure you that outside of sex, if they were to enter my mind, they would see some really negative things about them, real bad PR happening in those moments.
They're like, they're not even like particularly angry things. It's just like, God, I wish you would stop moving in bed. I'm trying to fall. Like it's just like
little things.
It's like, oh, I'm sorry, am I disturbing you? Like, no, I wish you couldn't hear my thoughts.
Yeah, they would hear so often like, why are your clicky sounds on your keyboard on your phone?
Yeah.
Like I would just be like, what kind of imbecile puts the clicky sounds of their keyboard on?
Yep.
That's all I can.
Just little things.
Or do you understand how loud your nails are? Like, why don't you cut those? Because I can hear those clacking away.
Let it out, John. Let it all out, bud.
I had a girlfriend who used to like hum in the morning when she would be getting ready, like a Disney princess almost. And I liked it at first. I'm like, oh my God, she's like a Disney princess. I pictured like animated birds flying around her. But by like 2 weeks in, I was like throwing things at her. I'm like, will you shut the fuck up? I'm trying. I don't wake up at 6 a.m.
Yeah.
God.
I get up at 9:30. I have a big boy job, okay? I get up at 9:30 and go record my podcast. How about you let me get my fucking beauty sleep, please? Okay, what movie most recently made you cry?
What movie? You know what? I don't know what movie, but that fucking commercial they keep playing on Sunday Night Football with the little stuffed animal strapped to the grill of the truck. I cry every fucking time that plays. You know what I'm talking about?
So you got real depression, huh? You know you're fucked up when you're crying at commercials. I had that happen once. It was an insurance commercial, and I was just like, oh boy, we gotta call the therapist and move this appointment up real quick.
I ordered a lot of Sad Boy merch during Black Friday sale.
All right.
We actually had Gary Goldman on Tuesday, and we were talking about the Great Depression. And he was like, yeah, no, it'd always been a dream of mine to monetize my mental illness. And I was like, we're selling great sweatshirts over here, Gary.
Making a killing, bud. Come on down, you know? All right, there is a 4-stall bathroom with a glory hole in each stall. Behind 3 of them is a super hot chick. Behind 1 of them is a dude. Are you putting your dick in the glory hole?
Yeah.
I
mean, do you know it? I mean,
Um,
here's the thing. Do they reveal themselves at the end of it?
how about yes? Yeah,
Once
you're gonna
you
know.
finish, you hear "good enough, bro."
I mean, like, you're putting it in, and 3-1. I could tell right away if it's a hot girl to a dude. I feel like.
You think?
Is it a dude who's done this before?
Yes. Let's say it's a gay guy.
Yeah.
And I bet you gay guys
so
suck
then it would
dick.
be tough. Then it would be tough. Then that would be tough. But you know what? You might get surprised. You might go like, that was one hell of a blowjob, and then go, oh, it's the guy. Yeah, why not? Just throw your dick in there.
I feel like the average gay guy probably sucks dick better than the average straight girl.
I know a couple of women who have gone to those, like, remember in that, I forget what film it was, 40-Year-Old Virgin, maybe? I don't remember which one, but Andy Dick does
blowjob
the
party?
dick sucking lessons. Yeah. Those are real. Women go to those.
Well,
I've heard of those.
I think a lot probably have to, because in my experience, I don't think I've ever. I'm sure I've had like a bad blowjob, or whatever. But like, just even in watching porn, you can watch a porn and be like, I mean, she's just putting her mouth on it. That's not even a blowjob.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
like,
Right.
and that's a professional.
But I
How
feel
it's
like
that.
girls need to do that as you should be able to tell if a guy is lying to you, being like, that's the best blowjob I've ever had. It's like, put on some porn. Does it look like that? If it doesn't, then he's probably lying to you.
Yeah.
And it probably stinks, you know?
Well, some women really just don't. They think they're good at it and they're not, and then some just aren't good at it. So, like, I would imagine, like you said with the gay guy thing, here's the worst case scenario. You put your dick in the glory hole. It's the guy. He blows your brains out, and then you go like, "Huh, that's interesting." You know what I mean? Or
Yeah.
you fucking. I don't see a downside.
Well, I don't know.
to
Maybe
this at
maybe
all,
that
other
it's in
than
your head,
the
but it's like
reveal.
maybe you're chasing the dragon for the rest of your life. Like, man, if I ever want head like that again, I gotta go gay.
I got to call Carl.
I get how you said like some girls are good, some girls are bad. I get if you can't deep throat or like any of that shit. But also, I think it's subjectively easy to give good head. I feel like I would suck a dick.
It's a sign of intelligence. You know what I'm saying? Like real daffy girls, they're like, I'm gonna suck your dick, and then they're just like really bad at it. You know what I'm saying? But then like, it's also a personality thing. It's just like you can tell, just like the empty 2-dimensional girl that has really nothing there is gonna suck your dick bad. But the one who's like fucking. There are dumb girls that are savages where you're like, holy shit. But you know what I'm saying? Like,
I just think it's
for the most part,
it's something to be like, I want to try to blow this guy's dick really good. And I've like seen porn. I know how to do it, so I'm gonna do it. It's like they're attacking a job at work. So just make it a mess. Just make it a fucking mess and whack it around and do all sorts of different shit to it.
I think the problem is girls get so defensive about it. Where like every girl's like, no, I give great head. Whereas like I think most guys like I fucking suck at sex.
Yeah,
like I'm
yeah.
I'm not gonna get drunk. I fucking stink.
I'm pretty mediocre.
Maybe if we're texting, I'll say some things that probably aren't gonna end up happening. But
definitely.
but most of the time, if we're just talking, I'm like, look, it's gonna
average.
be fine.
It's average.
Like
Yeah.
you're not gonna call your friends and be like, I just saw God. You're not gonna fucking run out of the room either. It's gonna be fucking.
But
fine.
I think most girls do get lied to at some point. Like, that was the best I've ever
Yeah,
had.
you guys are both pretty tall though. So here's the thing: when you look at me, you have low expectations when it comes to sex. Like you're just like, this is gonna be weird or whatever. I don't even know. So I always come into it just like accepting those low expectations, and then like all I have to be is just satisfactory, and
Yeah.
it's like, holy shit,
Right,
But-
right.
look at you,
dude,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
One of my favorite stories ever is I got 2 buddies. I got a couple of buddies, mostly 2. And one's pretty short and one's quite tall. It's probably like 5'8" and 6'4", something like that. And the 6'4" guy was talking to a girl in a bar one night. very pretty girl, and they're hitting off and they're going real well. And the short guy steps in between the two of them, looks her dead in the eye. He goes, "Look at me, look at him. Everything in his life has been handed to him. I'm gonna fucking break your bed because I need to fucking earn it." And he went home with her. She was like, "All right, I mean, I gotta see what this is all about."
It's a good sell. It's a good sell.
Every girl just hands themselves to him. I gotta work for it.
You gotta earn it.
That's that bagel boss energy right there.
Yeah. All right, if you could fuck anyone you wanted, but they die immediately after, who do you pick?
I'd pick Tommy Lahren.
That's a great one.
Answer.
I mean, I don't know if I want her to die, but that is a good one.
I don't even care about her political career. I just know that like people wouldn't be mad at me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
well, I don't know actually. I mean,
Jay Cutler might be mad at me. Right?
Yeah.
Isn't he fucking her now?
There was rumors about it. Yeah. Like the 2A people might get mad at you, but there'd be a lot of other people like, whatever.
But also the 2A people are the people you don't want to piss off.
Yeah, they're the ones with the guns.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think they're sick of her too, though. They'd be like, "Yeah, thanks. She was kind of bothering me anyway. Good for you." They'd be like, they'd fist bump me about fucking her too. You know? But I feel bad. I don't want you to die, Tommy Lahren. I think you're hot.
She is hot. She is very hot.
You are probably really fun to hang out with, and I don't want you to. I feel bad saying I want anyone to die, but that's what I just want to fuck her that bad. Probably. That's really it. We'll spin it that way.
Would you rather have all music or all TV be in Spanish?
Ooh. Well, I'm gonna go blind someday probably, so I'm gonna say TV.
What's up with the eye situation? What do you got there?
I got macular degeneration, and it led to a bunch of detached retinas, and then eventually I lost my sight in my right eye altogether, which blows. Yeah. But totally it's whatever. Yeah, it's fine now.
So you got to rock those all the time?
Yeah. 24/7.
No, there's no like. Is it that there's no contacts that even replicate that, or you just choose to wear them?
No, I mean the contact thing would be weird because then I've got this just weird eye. I mean, it's just like cover it up. You know what I'm saying?
Why don't you go with the eye patch?
Somebody's brought that up to me too, but it's like you're in Starbucks with a fucking eye patch. You got little kids looking at you. I don't want to draw any more attention than I need to. You know what I mean?
The eye patch, I think, every time I see someone with an eye patch, and it's very rare, but there's a nice. What was the guy's name? Was it Mysterious? The guy who wrote the book, The Game.
Mystery.
The Peacock guy.
Yeah. Like
he would pop one on every now and then for fun. Yeah.
There's a mystery. There's a certain.
You have a story to go with it.
Something to the eye patch. Yeah. You're like, all right, I might be scared. Like, I might be turned on. I'm not sure. I'll figure it out.
Yeah, but you see a guy like that at like Rite Aid, you're like, all right, relax. You know what I'm saying? Or they just look sad. You're like, oh my God, was he in a war? You know what I mean? Like you don't.
But I'll tell you what. I mean, these questions are flying through their head. You know?
That's
true.
I think the eye patch, if you're going to go eye patch, you got to start rocking like 3-piece suits. Because the eye patch and sweatpants is a little like, what's he have?
That's what I mean. Mm-hmm.
But the eye patch and like a 3-piece suit, you're like, that is
classing it up.
That dude's like in a League of Extraordinary Gentlemen.
Right.
There's something to
now
that.
Now you're talking a whole lot of effort, though. It's just one of these things where it's like, I just want to go about life and just be as invisible as possible.
That's
and
the fucking game, baby.
have a hard time doing that. Yeah. I already have a hard time doing that. Now I'm going to put an eye patch on. Are you fucking kidding me?
This is one that maybe you kind of, maybe you've experienced this. Have any of the girls that you've fucked through Make Josh Come then come on the show and talked about it?
Yeah.
Because this question here is would you fuck a porn star if afterwards she held a press conference on your performance? So you've gone through this before.
I mean, I haven't. I've done both the things separate from one another. So,
what, you fucked a porn star and then you've had a girl give the press conference? Yeah.
Separately. Yeah.
Did she give a good review of you?
The girl on the air. I mean, it's available. I don't remember what episode it was. I think it's even a clip on the YMH Clips channel. But
was she like hooking you up, or was it an honest? Was she pumping you up?
I think
on
it was. She had no reason. She had no reason to lie. I mean, like, yeah. So I mean, it wasn't like it was like, she could have very well tore me apart if she wanted to. I said, like, feel free. I don't care. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like no one's expecting a good report card here. You know what I mean? So.
Yep. The ultimate, like, keep the expectations low here, you know?
Yeah, I actually wouldn't mind any woman who I've slept with talking about it afterwards. I really wouldn't at all. In fact, I would encourage it. Like, I wouldn't mind if they went about.
I think the more
Yeah,
they
because-
talk, the more, as long as it's not like a catastrophically bad review.
No,
you have a girl be like, it was a good time, and it's like that's enough.
Yeah,
proof.
I mean, I've got some comic colleagues out there that got a few girls talking about them in a not so great way right now.
Yeah,
And
you're right. You're right.
I don't have to worry about that happening, and I know that, so that's kind of why I would prefer the good
Right,
PR being out
right.
there, you know what I mean?
It was a perfectly legal, consensual, enjoyable
Yeah.
evening that
Yeah.
two adults
Yeah.
loved. Yep.
Yeah, yeah.
All right, man. Well, we appreciate the time, and so the new podcast is out under the YMH umbrella. What's the name of that? Tell people where they can find it and where they can get you.
It's called it's just called The Josh Potter Show, and it's out every Tuesday morning on the YMH YouTube channel. Just so click subscribe on that. If you already subscribed to it, you already get it. And if not, go subscribe, and it'll come out every Tuesday. And it's on iTunes and all that for all the audio people, all the places you can listen to podcasts. And if you could rate and review and subscribe.
Yeah,
and all
man.
that
It's
really
like
helps me out.
the day that we can figure out how to truly compel everyone to go rate, review, subscribe, and just get them to understand
People
how
don't
much it
understand.
fucking matters. It matters so goddamn much. Please just do it.
I was one of them. I was one of these
Yeah.
people who had no idea, and now I'm in the world, and I'm getting the education of how much it means
Right.
to it.
So hook your
Thanks
boy
for
up.
having me on.
Yeah, man. Anytime. Let's do
Thank
it
you
again
very
soon.
much,
All right.
Josh.
Have a good one.
You too, buddy. Have a great one.
Later.
Listen, if you made it this far into the video,
Which is far. Like, no one ever does that on the internet.
like it's the end. You made it to the end
the
of the video.
full fucking video
You
you
watched
did.
the whole thing. So if you liked it and you watched the whole thing, why don't you subscribe?
It means you like us.
Click the subscribe button, because if you don't, I'm gonna fucking murder John.
And I'm going to like it.
Kill him with my bare fucking hands. Yeah. And if you weren't sold on this video, there's plenty more. Watch what's next up and then subscribe. But just subscribe so I don't have to fucking kill him.
Well, I don't know. Do what you want, but subscribe. Probably.